The following contest is a tag team tables match and is for the tag team championship. And at a combined weight of 603 pounds, the tag team champions, Bubba Ray and Devon, the Dudley Boyz.
Welcome everyone to Grand Tour Wrestling Survivor Games. I am your host, Infinite Fantasy, and we are live in a sold-out arena here in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
At a combined weight of 461 pounds, Jeff Hardy and Matt Handy, Team Hardcore.
We got the tag team titles on the line, and what's going to be a grueling 30-minute Iron Man table match. The Hardy Boyz finally getting their true rematch against the Dudleys. Back in August, the Dudleys had lost the tag team titles to the Hardys, but regained them in a triple threat ladder match back at the Rising Sun. Now, we're getting a true test of skill between the Hardys and the Dudleys. Arguably the two greatest tag teams of all time will now settle who is the greatest of all time. The objective in this match, whoever throws each other through the most tables within a 30-minute time span will be the Grand Tour Wrestling Tag Team Champions. I'd also like to welcome Bowling God 74 to the live stream chat. How you doing? He says, ding ding ding, I got the popcorn, get the tables, and let's get ready to rumble. And I could not agree more. And we're starting off with a blast right now as Jeff Hardy dominates over Bubba Ray Dudley. And Devon goes to take on Matt Hardy in the middle of the ring in this 30-minute tables match. And Devon already getting the tables, bringing it right into the ring. And the Dudleys ready to get this party started with a bang. There's Matt Hardy intercepting Devon as he goes for a reverse cutter. Bubba Ray with a clothesline on the Jeff Hardy, but now intercepted by Matt Hardy. Doing this, going for a suplex on to Bubba Ray. Devon now with a neckbreaker onto Matt Hardy. Now Devon going for the table. Throwing it at Matt right before going for that frog splash. Now Bubba Ray going underneath the ring, taking out a second table. Remember, this is a tables match, so we're going to see plenty of these for the next half hour. And for any artists out there, I would recommend watching till towards the end. There'll be a special announcement pertaining to all artists, especially those who reside on Instagram. There'll be a special announcement later tonight, right before the main event, which will have a War elimination match. It'll be a 4 versus 4 elimination style tag team match. And we got our first point. Bubba Ray throwing Matt Hardy through the first table. It is now 1-0 the Dudley Boyz. And you can hear the excitement in the Solos crowd as the audience screams out, "This is awesome," as Matt Hardy goes through the first table, courtesy of Bubba Ray Dudley. The Dudley Boyz thus far dominating in this Iron Man tables match. Devon setting up the second table. And here comes Bubba Ray looking to put Matt Hardy to the second. This will be the second time Bubba Ray putting Matt Hardy through a table. And Matt Hardy goes right through it. It's now 2-0 the Dudley Boyz. This is the Dudley Boyz special match here. Anyone knows how to do a tables match is the Dudleys. And there's Bubba Ray being thrown right into the steel stairs by Matt Hardy. working on the leg of Bubba Ray in the corner. Devon coming to the aid of Matt Hardy. And Devon doing a hip toss on the Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy going to the table for the third time. Now 3-0. The Dudley Boyz winning this tables match thus far. And there's Devon attacking Matt Hardy with that steel chair relentlessly. Bubba Ray going for those right hooks onto Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, and Jeff Hardy attempting a twist of fate, but Bubba Ray counters. Bubba Ray now going under the ring, pulling out a garbage can. We're bringing foreign objects into this match now. The ring completely littered with broken wood. And there's Matt Hardy with a clothesline. Bubba Ray missing the double axe hammer onto Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy now under the ring, and what is he waiting for? We got a third table being put into play here. Jeff Hardy now using the weapon, smashing it right into Bubba Ray Dudley outside the ring. And there's Devon coming off the second row with the double axe handle onto Matt Hardy. And there's Jeff, once again, using the table as a weapon. But here comes Bubba Ray coming to the aid of Devon. And there's Jeff Hardy with a twist of fate onto Bubba Ray. And here's Jeff Hardy setting up the next table. Devon bringing out a ladder in this match. We're now bringing out garbage cans. We're bringing out ladders. We got an all-out war going on between the Dudleys and the Hardy Boyz in this tag team Iron Man tables match. So far, 3-0. The Dudley Boyz winning. We still have 25 minutes to go. This could still be anyone's match. And there's Matt Hardy with a sidewalk slam. Bubba Ray nearly missing that garbage can. Speaking of the garbage can, there's Matt Hardy now just throwing it right on Bubba Ray's head. And Matt Hardy attempting to set up Bubba Ray. Devon intercepting that. Luckily, Jeff Hardy comes to the rescue as he gets another twist of fate onto Devon Dudley. There's Matt Hardy with a steel chair onto Devon. Matt Hardy now approaching Bubba Ray outside the ring. And there's Bubba Ray with a right cross. Jeff Hardy with a stunner onto Devon. And Jeff Hardy now coming to the aid to his brother Matt, but gets checked by Bubba Ray. Bubba Ray now working on that hand of Jeff Hardy, trying to do as much damage as possible. The Dudley Boyz already are winning 3-0. All they have to do is make sure they themselves don't go through a table. And Devon attempting to smash Matt Hardy's head into the garbage can. Luckily, Matt Hardy able to reverse, and now it ends up being Devon being on the receiving end. Jeff Hardy flying outside the ring, attacking both Dudley Boyz. We got a comment from Bowling God 74. This is awesome, and wow, it's looking like a lumberyard in the ring. Where's the doctor when you need him? Oh, I guarantee you, all four of these guys are definitely going to need a doctor by the end of this match. And I totally agree with you, Bowling God. This is 100% a lumberjack yard. There is wood all over the place. We got table shards all over the outside and inside the ring right now. And there's Bubba Ray throwing Jeff back into the ring. The Hardy Boyz taking the high ground inside the squared circle. Bubba Ray now setting Matt Hardy up. And a suplex right off the ring apron. And it looks like Bubba Ray may have taken a little damage with that move as he suplexes Matt outside the ring. And there's Jeff Hardy throwing Devon right into the barricade. And a suplex by Jeff Hardy onto Bubba Ray. The Hardy Boyz starting to turn the tables, no pun intended here. He's got 22 minutes left in his Iron Man tables match. It's still 3-0. The Dudley Boyz still taking the lead in this tag team title matchup. And Jeff Hardy got Bubba Ray set up. Looks like he's going for his first point. And Jeff Hardy suplexing Bubba Ray through the table. The Hardy Boyz get the first point. It's now 3-1. The Dudley's still winning, but the Hardy Boyz now have their first point. And there's Matt Hardy with a superplex onto Devon right off the top rope outside the ring. We got Jeff Hardy beating Bubba Ray with that steel chair. And it looks like Jeff Hardy winding Bubba Ray up. And the Hardy Boyz double team Bubba Ray. Jeff Hardy now focusing his attention on the Devon inside the ring. However, Devon gets the knees up, able to reverse. He goes for an Irish whip. Jeff Hardy counters. Devon with a counter of his own. Well, outside the ring, Bubba Ray completely decimating Matt Hardy. As Devon throwing Jeff Hardy right into the turnbuckle. Jeff Hardy carrying out now, throwing Devon into the turnbuckle. Bubba Ray throwing Matt Hardy back into the ring. And Jeff Hardy throwing Devon's shoulder right into the steel ring post. Bubba Ray trying to give Jeff Hardy receiving the Samoan drop, but is interrupted by his brother Matt. And now the Dudley Boyz are double teaming on Matt Hardy as Jeff Hardy stunned outside the ring, and Devon off the top rope with a flying clothesline onto Jeff outside the ring area. And Jeff Hardy with another twist of fate on Devon outside the ring. Bubba Ray on that second rope, sizing Matt Hardy up. And nobody home, Matt Hardy gets out of the way. Jeff Hardy with a second twist of fate on Devon outside the ring. There's Matt Hardy onto that second rope. Waiting for Bubba Ray to get on his feet. The Hardy Boyz right now taking the offensive to the tag team champions. We're now 10 minutes in this 30-minute Iron Man match. We got 20 minutes left. We got the scores 3-1, the Dudley Boyz. And there's Bubba Ray taking Matt Hardy, suplexing him off the ring apron, outside the ring, landing right onto the garbage can. Matt Hardy attempted a high-risk maneuver, however came with a high consequences. No one was home. Devon now Irish whipping Jeff Hardy. And both Dudley Boyz take down the Hardys. Now it's Bubba Ray just pounding away at Jeff Hardy outside the ring. It looks like Jeff Hardy's been busted open. Yeah, that's definitely blood. Jeff Hardy is definitely bleeding outside the ring right now. And Bubba Ray just flying across outside the ring off that turnbuckle, knocking down Jeff once more. And Matt Hardy inside the ring with a twist of fate on the Devon Dudley. Meanwhile, Bubba Ray continues to punish Matt Hardy's brother Jeff outside the ring. Bubba Ray going to attack Matt Hardy inside the ring. Bubba Ray sizing up Matt. And there's a 3D cutter by Bubba Ray Dudley. And Bubba Ray follows through with a jawbreaker. We now have 17 minutes left into this table's Iron Man match. Tag team titles on the line. And there's Jeff Hardy with a leg drop on the Bubba Ray. However, it's intercepted by Devon, giving Jeff Hardy a receipt. Matt Hardy trying to come to his bro's aid, but immediately cut off by Devon. Now attacking Matt. Matt being thrown against the ropes. And here comes Devon. going for that clothesline. However, Matt Hardy stops on his tracks, now throwing Devon into the corner. And a powerful strike by Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy now taking on both Dudley Boyz alone. And the fight has seems to be taking itself outside the ring. Once more, the Hardy Boyz double team Bubba Ray Dudley. And there is Devon spearing Matt Hardy outside the ring. And remember, it's still 3-1. The Dudley Boyz have 3 points. The Hardy Boyz only have 1. All the Dudleys have to do is make sure that they don't go to the table 3 more times and they can retain the tag team titles against the Hardy Boyz. The Hardy Boyz, however, have a lot to catch up on if they wish to take home the gold here tonight. This is more than just about the GTW Tag Team Championship, but this is about determining which one of these two is the greatest tag team of all time right now. And it's Devon getting those punches onto Matt Hardy. The Dudley Boyz double teaming. I don't know how much more the Hardys can take. We can see that Jeff Hardy's now bleeding out. And let's go over with that double drop onto Jeff. Jeff Hardy now being thrown in the ring as Devon throws Matt Hardy into the barricade. And again, Matt Hardy into the barricade. Bubba Ray beating down Jeff in the middle of the ring. Devon beating down Matt Hardy outside the ring. Thus far, the Dudley Boyz dominating in this tables match. We got lumber all over the area. The ring is completely littered in wood right now. And there's Bubba Ray with a big boot taking down Jeff Hardy. We are now halfway through this Iron Man tables match. We got another comment from Bowling God. I hear chants of "We got Band-Aids." This is all out brawl. Blood, guts, tables, and chairs. Oh my. Oh yeah, you got that one, Bowling God. This is definitely one heck of a slobber knocker going on right now. Definitely got blood, guts, and tables all around right now. And the Hardy Boyz seem to be on the receiving end of it. I'd like to remind anyone who will be watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Grand Tour Wrestling content. We will have our weekly shows, Brawl and Dystopia, every week, and once a month, our pay-per-view event, this month being the Survivor Games. And we're still going to have a huge card later tonight. We still have Asuka going one-on-one with Jennifer Love. We're going to have the Hardcore title on the line as Benjamin Bourne challenges the Hardcore Champion, Destroyer Catalysm. We're going to have our 2 Survivor Game Gauntlet matches for the women's and men's division. The men's division determining who will be the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight title. The women's Survivor Games Gauntlet match will determine who will be the new women's champion after the title was vacated from Brenda Bison due to a fractured rib injury. And we have our main event tonight, the War Elimination match between the Old Gods taking on Steven Dynamite, Dio Sebation, The Witch, and Amanda Price for our main event here tonight. And I'd be amazed if any of those matches can top our opening match right here. And it seems the Hardy Boyz finally starting to gain some momentum. And Hardy with a twist of fate on Bubba Ray in front of our announcer's desk. And there's Matt Hardy slamming Bubba Ray right into the announcer's desk. And a sidewalk slam by Matt Hardy. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ring, Devon continues to punish Jeff. Matt Hardy getting a second twist of fate on Bubba Ray. Now meeting Devon in the ring. And Devon meeting him on the apron. And he picks Matt up and he slams it right onto the ring apron. Here comes Jeff Hardy with a flying clothesline. We have a comment from Dancing Red Sox. And yet I want some more. Hey, does the announcer's table count? I believe it does. I believe if someone does get thrown to the announcer's desk, it does count. Hopefully that does not happen considering I'm sitting right here, and that would be absolutely terrifying. And there's Jeff Hardy once again throwing Devon to the announcer's desk. These two getting a little too close for my comfort right now. And there's Matt Hardy with a DDT onto Bubba Ray. Devon now sizing up Jeff Hardy. Bubba Ray now throwing Matt Hardy into the ring. Devon Irish whipping Jeff Hardy right into the ladder against the barricade. And Hardy desperately trying to fight back. We only have 10 minutes left on this Tables Iron Man match. 10 more minutes to determine who will be the tag team champions. We are still 3-1. The Dudley Boyz winning 3-1 against the Hardy Boyz. The Fire's carry going for a Samoan drop onto Matt Hardy. Jeff Hardy knocked out outside the ring. And Bubba Ray with a high-risk maneuver flying off the top turnbuckle. Taking down Jeff Hardy. Again, we only have 10 minutes left in this Tables Iron Man match. The Dudleys have the lead right now. They just gotta make sure that the Hardy Boyz do not catch up. As long as they can prevent the Hardy Boyz from utilizing any tables, they can walk away retaining the tag team titles. And there's Matt Hardy with another twist of fate on Devon Dudley. Jeff Hardy trying to get what rest he can against those ropes, catching his breath. And Bubba Ray throwing Matt Hardy out of the ring. Jeff Hardy with a moonsault outside the ring onto Devon. And a twist of fate by Jeff Hardy onto Bubba Ray. Both Dudley Boyz knocked out. This is their chance to capitalize. If they can just get out of the ring and grab a table, they might be able to secure another point. And it seems the Hardy Boyz trying to keep on the offensive on the Dudleys here. There's a reverse twist of fate by Jeff Hardy onto Devon. And right now the Hardy Boyz keeping on the offense on the Dudleys. Despite that they're behind 3-1 in this Iron Man Tables match, we're coming down to the last 8 minutes. And there's Jeff Hardy on the top turnbuckle. And a cross body splash outside the ring by Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy throwing Bubba Ray in the ring. And there's Devon getting his head one right into the steel post. And here's Bubba Ray taking Matt Hardy DDT onto the ring apron. That is literally the hardest part of the ring right there. That's a steel frame holding the ring together. Bowling God 74 says, get the hammer and the nails out because we are tearing the house down with this sold-out audience in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I could not have said that better myself, Bowling God. And there's Jeff Hardy with a swanton onto Devon. And you see Jeff now choking Bubba Ray onto that top rope there. Devon throwing Matt out of the ring. We're coming down to the final 6 minutes. And you can see all 4 men are laid out. Matt Hardy barely getting back to his feet. There's Matt trying to choke out Bubba Ray. And here is Jeff Hardy. Twist of fate onto Devon Dudley. Matt throwing Bubba Ray into the ring. Jeff getting to the top rope. And we got Matt Hardy sizing Bubba Ray up. And from across the ring comes in with a missile dropkick right across the face of Bubba Ray Dudley. Devon throwing Jeff into the barricade once more. Matt Hardy applying a submission hold on the Bubba Ray. That will not do him any good, but might serve to weaken one half of the tag team champions. There goes Devon coming in the ring, coming to the aid of Bubba Ray Dudley. And there's Devon with the interception, and Jeff Hardy coming out with a receive on Devon. Devon, Bubba Ray with a cutter right onto Jeff Hardy. Both Hardy Boys are completely laid out. We're coming down to our final 5 minutes in this Iron Man tables match. The score 3-1. The Dudley Boyz winning. 5 minutes away from determining the GTW Tag Team Champions. Bubba Ray now getting on the top rope. Frog splash. Right onto Jeff Hardy, and the whole arena just shook with that one. And here's Bubba Ray with those shots onto Jeff Hardy. And another flying cutter by Bubba Ray Dudley, now making his way to the top rope. And Devon throwing Matt Hardy right through the garbage can outside the ring. But Dudley Boyz taking his time to stay on the offensive onto the Hardys. We are nearly to our final 3 minutes. Once again, the score is 3-1, the Dudley Boyz. Is Bubba Ray wrenching the neck of Jeff Hardy. All 4 men now back inside the ring. Devon coming off the top rope with a flying headbutt onto Matt Hardy, while Bubba Ray applies a powerful powerbomb onto Jeff. And now, about to approach our 2-minute warning in this Iron Man tables match. The Hardy Boyz have only 2 minutes to get 4 tables on the Dudley Boyz, or else the Dudley Boyz will retain the tag team titles, which it looks like at this point they may do. And here goes Bubba Ray on that top rope. Frog splash outside the ring on to Jeff Hardy, who is laying on top of the ladder. And there's Devon coming off the ropes with that breaker onto Jeff Hardy, followed by an atomic elbow drop off the second rope. Bubba Ray pounding away on Matt Hardy outside the ring. And a huge spinning right cross by Devon. And there's Devon yelling, "Testify!" on to Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy, like a reversal, attacking the back of the knee of Devon. But Bubba Ray now in the ring. The Dudley Boyz double teaming match with Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy all alone against the Dudley Boyz. Bubba Ray with a powerbomb onto Matt Hardy. And Bubba Ray on that top rope as he's about to fly outside the ring. Use the Hardy Boyz game against them. And Bubba Ray with all that weight dropping right on top of Matt from that top rope outside the ring. We're now 1 minute away from the end of this Tables Iron Man match. 40 seconds away from the Dudley Boyz retaining the tag team titles. Matt now being tossed in the ring. We're coming down to the wire, folks. We're now 20 seconds away. Matt Hardy desperately trying to get a maneuver on Devon. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the Dudley Boyz are still tag team champions.
And still tag team champions, Bubba Ray and Devon, the Dudley Boyz.
And what a opening match that was here tonight. The Dudley Boyz successfully retaining the tag team champions against the Hardys, solidifying themselves as the greatest tag team of all time. Don't go away, folks. We still have an entire card left to come. Coming up next, we're going to have Asuka going one-on-one with Jennifer Love here on GTW Survivor Games live on pay-per-view. Welcome back, folks. We had an insane tables match between Bubba Ray and Devon versus Matt and Jeff Hardy. The Dudley Boyz successfully retaining the tag team championships in what Bowling God here in the chat section is referring to as an insane match. But we're going to dial it back as we're going to have a one-on-one singles match for the women's division. A couple weeks ago, Jennifer Love was in a qualifying match for the Survivor Games Gauntlet against Dakota Kai, but lost the match thanks to the interference of Asuka. Now, Jennifer Love was going to get her chance to get her receipt on Asuka here tonight as they go one-on-one right here on our pay-per-view event, Survivor Games.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring, representing Damage Control from Osaka, Japan, Asuka!
Asuka coming from Osaka, Japan, the leader of the faction known as Damage Control. She has been coming into GTW with an enormous ego. Months ago, her and Io Sky challenged the Syndicate for the women's tag team titles in the Rising Sun pay-per-view event that was in Tokyo, Japan. However, was unable to come short of the victory. We thought that was going to be the end of this WWE superstar. But 2 weeks ago, when Jennifer Love had a qualifying match against Dakota Kai, Asuka came out and interfered, causing Jennifer Love the match, allowing Dakota Kai to advance to tonight's Survivor Games Gauntlet match, which will be for the women's title later tonight. Jennifer Love, looking to get revenge against Asuka, has challenged her to a singles competition here on tonight's pay-per-view event.
And her opponent from Cleveland, Ohio, Jennifer Love.
A girl straight from Cleveland, Ohio, Jennifer Love, a newcomer here in GTW, making her debut in a Grand Tour Wrestling pay-per-view event. She'll be going one-on-one against Asuka. So far, she has climbed up the ranks from the undercard roster, competing in our secondary show, Underground, and has recently made her debut onto the main roster on GTW Raw, and quickly has risen up now in her first pay-per-view match. I see we have Dark89 here in the chat. Welcome, Dark89. Hope you enjoy the show here tonight. And we're getting things started off as Asuka immediately rolls Jennifer Love into a submission hold. Jennifer Love immediately being able to kick out. And you can see that Jennifer Love has the size difference, the size advantage between her and Asuka. However, Asuka does carry the experience and ring prowess that has gotten her very far in her career. And there she goes, rolling off the ropes into a dropkick onto Jennifer Love. Asuka continues to work on Jennifer Love to torture her as she has been doing the last couple of weeks. On Brawl earlier this week, Jennifer Love went one-on-one with Io Sky, and once again, the match was cost because of the interference of Asuka. That was 2 weeks in a row. Asuka has gotten into Jennifer Love's business, and she's now finally getting a chance to go one-on-one. However, Asuka thus far has been dominating in this singles match. And Jennifer Love using her size advantage to bring Asuka into a headlock. Asuka struggling to get out of it as Jennifer Love now applies more pressure into the headlock here. And Dark89 says, love me some Sunday night show whoop whoop with a sparkly heart. There's Asuka with a submission hold. Jennifer Love kicking her way out of it. And a huge knee right into the jaw of Asuka. Asuka now working on the back of the legs of Jennifer Love. Now throwing those knees into the face of her opponent. And you see Asuka sizing Jennifer Love up. And she goes for a kick, but Love ends up catching the attack. An Irish whip into the ropes. She goes under. She goes over. And she takes Asuka up into a gut buster with a knee, followed by a kick to the back of the head. But Asuka quickly recovers, now using her agility to gain the upper hand once again on the challenger. Asuka now making her way to the top rope. Jennifer Love struggling to get to her feet, and a cross body splash by Asuka. And here comes the pin. 1, 2, but Jennifer Love kicks out. And here's Jennifer Love with a kick to the bottom of the leg of Asuka, followed by a face plant. And now grapple up. Jennifer Love with the Irish whip. And a big boot right into Asuka. Not going to clean out. Here comes the pin. 1, 2. But Asuka kicks out. Here's Jennifer Love swinging over the ropes. Now applying a headlock onto Asuka, dragging her towards the side of the ring. She has her against the ropes now. And there's Jennifer Love just choking Asuka right across that top rope. What's that kick? Asuka saying, there's no way you're getting this one on me. And now applying a submission hold on Jennifer Love, having her in a variation of a sharpshooter. Jennifer Love powers her way out using her side advantage. Now has Asuka trapped in the corner. Here comes the Irish whip. Jennifer Love off the ropes with a spinning elbow right into the side temple of Asuka. However, Asuka kicks out. And an amazing flying moonsault by Jennifer Love. However, nobody home. Asuka rolling out of the way at the very last minute, and it seems the high-risk maneuver had a high consequence. Jennifer Love trying to keep her guard up as Asuka goes for those strikes. Jennifer Love now going for, now reciprocating. She's now inviting Asuka. She wants Asuka to hit her. She's saying, come on, is that all you got? Is that all you can bring? Asuka going to hit as hard as she can. And there's Jennifer Love giving her a little payback. And just, you can hear those chops echoing across the arena as they go back and forth now. And the two women now going completely at it, throwing blows at each other. There's Jennifer Love off the Irish whip. Asuka counters. She goes for a spinning heel kick. Jennifer gets out of the way. She now has Asuka. And then finally carry out a GTS by Jennifer Love. 1, 2, but Asuka kicks out on 2. And here comes Jennifer Love. Now applying the submission on Asuka. Will she tap out? No. Asuka's got a firm grip as she manages to elbow her way out and escape the submission hold. And there's a drop kick by Asuka. Jennifer Love now going for the pin. 1, 2. Asuka kicks out on 2. But it's not discouraging her. Jennifer Love still looking to finish things off. She's now sizing her up. She's going for another GTS. Will this be enough for the win? 1, 2. No, again, Asuka with the shoulder up, and you can see the visible frustration on Jennifer Love's face. You hear the crowd chanting, "This is wrestling." This sold-out arena here in Allentown, Pennsylvania, going absolutely wild here at Survivor Games. Jennifer Love coming off the ropes, double axe handle onto Asuka. She's trying to figure out what she's going to have to do to keep her down for a 3 count after Asuka kicking out of 2 GTS. And here goes Jennifer Love now getting to the top turnbuckle. And another with a double axe handle onto the back of Asuka's head. Asuka immediately recovering, getting a kick onto Jennifer Love, followed by a drop kick, knocking her opponent down. And now Asuka with a submission onto Jennifer Love. Jennifer Love is in the middle of the ring. She's got nowhere to go, nowhere to grab or roll. She's going to have to try and wrestle her way out. And Asuka saying, no, it's not going to be that easy for you. I'm not done picking the wings off this butterfly. She continues to torture her opponent, saying she wants to completely humiliate Jennifer Love here. And Asuka again with that submission hold. Jennifer Love looks like she might tap out there. She was very close. Asuka now sizing up, looking like she's ready for that finisher. Here comes Asuka with the Irish whip. She goes under. And a spinning heel kick on Jennifer Love. She's going for the pin. Will this be enough to take the win? And it is. Asuka wins this singles match. Oh wait, what's this? What's Asuka thinking here? Jennifer Love barely getting back up, barely on her feet right now. And this Asuka with a ladder. Asuka has just gotten under the ring, bringing out a ladder. And Asuka attacking Jennifer Love with that ladder. Oh my god, Asuka, what are you doing here? Asuka, what are you doing? Was the win not enough? And there's a body slam. You can hear that metal echoing all over the arena. Asuka talking all kinds of shit to Jennifer right now as she just body slammed her onto that ladder. Asuka had a clean win there, but she couldn't just end it. She had to take it a step further after the match. What a despicable, sore winner Asuka has turned out to be. Don't go away, folks. We still got more to come. Because coming up next, we have the Women's Division Survivor Games Gauntlet match. And it's going to be for the vacated Women's Championship. A month ago, in a mixed gender tag team match, Brenda Bison had suffered multiple fractured ribs after receiving the God Spear by the Grand Tour and World Heavyweight Champion Hercules. And due to being incapable of in-ring action, Brenda Bison had been stripped of the Women's Championship. Now, the Survivor Games Gauntlet match will have 8 of our top women's superstars who have all competed in qualifying matches over the past month and will be going at it. The winner in this no-holds-barred elimination match will be the new Women's Champion, and that's coming up next. Amber, a word please. Yes, my lord. I question your loyalty to the old gods. Tonight, I need you by my side. Tonight we go to war with our greatest enemies. Tonight we can end the heretics that have been stepping in our way. Yet you agree to a qualifying match last night. Yes, mighty Hercules, I was robbed of my opportunity. Now I have a chance to bring the woman's title to the old gods. At a big cost, this is a battle we cannot afford to lose tonight. Hercules, you have recruited me because you saw a warrior who can fight any battle and defeat any opponent. I am Amber Charlotte, warrior princess, and everything I do is for the old gods. I will be at my best tonight when I face the heretics. And I will do so as your woman's champion. Very well. I trust your judgment, warrior princess. This time. Let us hope you are the warrior you think you are.
The following is a gauntlet eliminator match. The rules of the match are as follows. 2 superstars will start in the ring. At regular intervals, a new superstar enters the match. Elimination can occur anywhere in the arena. The match continues until one superstar remains, and that superstar will be declared the winner.
Here comes the first competitor in the Survivor Games Gauntlet Eliminator match. Tiffany Lane. The women's title is on the line after being vacated by Brenda Bison. It is now a vacant title, and tonight's match between these 8 women will be determining who will go on to GTW as the women's champion. And it looks like we're going to start off with Tiffany Lane, one half of the tag team known as Truth and Consequences, who last night on Dystopia competed for the women's tag team titles against Havoc. Unfortunately, they came up short in their victory. However, Tiffany Lane herself is given a great opportunity. If she wins tonight, will be the sole women's champion of Grand Tour Wrestling. And now we're ready to find out who contestant number 2 is. Oh, and here we go. And it looks like contestant number 2 is going to be none other than the women's division legend, Lita. Lita, who had qualified last night at Dystopia after defeating the timeless Toni Storm.
From Sanford, North Carolina, Lita.
She'll be the one starting things off in this gauntlet match against Tiffany Lane. Lita has been a women's champion in other promotions before and is looking to add to her collection, showing that she might be old but still at the top of her game when it comes to the divas here in pro wrestling. And Tiffany Lane trying to use her agility to outmaneuver Lita. Lita, though, able to get the upper hand. But here's Tiffany Lane showing this legend that she's not willing to back down. We have experience in agility versus crazy in agility right here. And there's Tiffany Lane going to play Lita at her own game, using those acrobatics against her. There's Tiffany Lane now throwing Lita over the top rope. And there she goes with a jawbreaker right across that top rope and going for the count immediately outside the ring. The ref running out. However, the ref taking too much time to get out of the ring to get that count going. Lita kicking out. The rules is simple. You eliminate a competitor by either pinfall or submission. There's no disqualification, no countout, and it's falls count anywhere. These eliminations could take place anywhere in the arena, not just inside the ring. Tiffany Lane with an arm drag onto Lita. Here's Lita with a shot to the ribs onto Tiffany Lane. And she grabs her by the hair, throwing her across the ring. Tiffany Lane with a kick to Lita. And now Tiffany Lane looking to get those stomps onto Lita there. And here she is, twisting that ankle on this woman who has paved the way for many to come 20 years ago when she became one of the first in-ring active female wrestlers. And here's Lita now sizing up Tiffany Lane. She comes off the top rope, flying moonsault on the standing Tiffany Lane, and this Tiffany Lane rolling out of the ring to gain a little distance from Lita. Lita trying the standing attack, but Tiffany Lane comes in to receive, elbowing her into the face. And that cross body splash by Tiffany Lane. And there's Tiffany Lane attempting a submission hold onto Lita. Lita going for those shots to the wrist, trying to fight her way out of it. Yeah, we got Crazy versus Experience in this matchup right now with the two first competitors in this gauntlet match. And Lita with a quote-the-world slam on Tiffany Lane, attempting an elimination. And Tiffany Lane kicks out. Lita now going under the ring, looking for a foreign object, and she brings out a stop sign. And there she goes, slamming the steel stop sign into the back of Tiffany Lane. 1, 2, but Tiffany kicks out. And Lita now throwing Tiffany Lane across the ring with an arm drag. Lita getting a takedown on the Tiffany. Followed by a drop kick to the back of the head. And Tiffany with a double knee drop onto Lita using those impressive acrobatics. And now throwing a stop sign right into the midsection. Tiffany Lane making her way to the top rope. And she does a cartwheel right onto Lita. Full force frog splash. But Lita kicks out on 2. She's still in this Survivor Games elimination match. Tiffany Lane once again using that weapon, throwing on Lita, barely freezing the former women's champion. And we're 10 seconds away to finding out who the third competitor is going to be. And here comes Dakota Kai. Now they're going to Lita as Lita executes a DDT. And here comes the elimination. 1, 2. Dakota Kai kicks out on 2. We now have the makings of a triple threat match between Lita, Dakota Kai, and Tiffany Lane in a Survivor Games gauntlet match. And once again, a reminder that the Women's Championship is on the line. Lita now bringing up back in the ring. Tiffany Lane fighting her off though, taking down Lita with a drop kick. Now Tiffany Lane focusing her attention on Dakota Kai. And there's Tiffany Lane, the kick to the midsection, and a clothesline. Lita now with an Irish whip, throwing Tiffany Lane out of the ring, and Lita now the only one in the ring now, getting to the top rope, and a frog splash right off the top rope outside the ring by Lita. You see Lita's all fired up now. And here she comes, Lita bringing out a garbage can. Dakota Kai intercepting now, taking Lita down before the foreign object can be used. And Dakota Kai now slamming Lita into that garbage can. Tiffany Lane gaining the ring to grab a little help from her friend, Mr. Baseball Bat. However, Lita stops her in her tracks. And Lita slamming Tiffany Lane's head into the garbage can as she unleashes this barrage of punches. And Lita going for a twist of fate on the Dakota Kai. Now the difference between this and what a triple threat match would be is normally each fighter will try and stop triple elimination. However, pinfalls will work in everyone's favor, and Lita smashing the wooden guitar right over Dakota Kai. Tiffany Lane though taking advantage of the distraction, rolling Lita into a pin, only for Lita to kick out. But Dakota Kai scene starts right now after the guitar being smashed right over her head. Lita now going for that elimination. Tiffany Lane kicks out though, avoiding being eliminated in the Survivor Games Gauntlet match. Lita and Dakota Kai now double team on Tiffany Lane. But the alliance cut short as Dakota Kai smashes the garbage can over Lita's head. And there's Dakota Kai throwing Lita into the ring apron. She now rolls Tiffany Lane into a pin. No, a submission hold. Dakota Kai has Tiffany Lane in a submission hold. Lita now on the ring, hitting Dakota Kai in the back with a steel shovel. And she's just going to town with that weapon right now. Fighting outside the ring. There's Tiffany Lane throwing Lita inside. Dakota Kai with a big kick on the Tiffany Lane. And there's Dakota going for those elbow shots right into Lita. Here's an Irish whip into the corner. And Dakota Kai right at stop sign. And then we got front arm, she smashes it right over Lita's head. And now we're about to find out who competitor number 4 is in the Survivor Games Gauntlet match. And here comes Akima Sake. Akima Sake, now the 4th competitor in a Survivor Games Gauntlet match. We now have 4 women fighting in the ring. Lita has been busted open. We got blood dripping all over the ring right now. Kiyosaki goes for the elimination on Tiffany Lane. But Tiffany Lane kicks out. Kiyosaki with a corkscrew on Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai landing on that stop sign. Tiffany Lane going that stop sign right on top of Tiffany Lane. Tiffany Lane ducking under. And here comes a DDT onto Akima Sake. Tiffany Lane attempting the pin. 1, 2, but Akima Sake kicks out. Meanwhile, Dakota Kai and Lita fighting on the outskirts of the ring. Tiffany Lane applying the submission hold onto Akima Sake. Dakota Kai with a corkscrew on Toledo outside the ring. And Kimasaki with an Irish whip. Taking down Tiffany Lane. Dakota Kai outside the ring has a fireman's carry on Toledo. Tiffany Lane with a submission hold on Tiffany Lane, but Tiffany Lane reverses. And Kimasaki with a missile dropkick after bouncing off the second rope. And there's Kimasaki with that foreign object in hand. Dakota Kai looking to pin Lita, going for the elimination. But Lita kicks out. Right now, Kimasaki is the freshest competitor in this match thus far. Lita going to pin Dakota Kai. 1, 2, but Dakota Kai kicks out. And there's a jawbuster by Kimasaki onto Lita. An amazing display of athleticism by Kimasaki, but now Dakota Kai showing her some of her own moves. We got Dakota Kai and Lita now squaring off in the ring as Lita throws the elbows, trying to reverse Dakota Kai's maneuver. On the side of the ring, Kimasaki now does battle with Tiffany Lane. Now we got Kimasaki on the ring, bringing out another acoustic guitar. She's intercepted by Dakota Kai. And here's Dakota Kai slamming Kimasaki onto the barricade. Now going for the count. The referee rushing out of the ring. But was a little too late as Kimasaki kicks out. The high-risk maneuver onto Lita. Dakota Kai once again going for that pin. 1, but Kimasaki kicks out. You gotta feel for the referee. He's gotta be all over the place right now, keeping up with all this action. False count anywhere between 4 women in this arena. There's a face buster by Kimasaki. Once again going for the pin on Dakota Kai. 1, 2. But Dakota Kai kicks out once again on 2. There she is, sizing her up. Kimasaki. Huge maneuver. Once again. 1, 2, 3. And Dakota Kai has been eliminated. We have our first elimination. It is now between Lita and Tiffany Lane. Lita attempting to eliminate Tiffany Lane, but she kicks out. We're back down to 3 women as Dakota Kai has been eliminated from the Survivor Games gauntlet match. Lita now going for the pin on Kimasaki. Kimasaki kicking out before even a 2 count. Again, she's the freshest one in this match, being the 4th competitor to enter the ring. Here's Kimasaki slamming Tiffany Lane into the steel stairs, and now measuring up Lita. Lita reverses though, a kick to the midsection. But Kimasaki with a reversal overall, throwing Lita into the barricade. And there's Lita, who's being thrown right on top of that unforgiving barricade. I'll tell you one thing, the audience in the front row definitely getting the money's worth right here. We got that garbage can now wedged between the ropes. And here comes competitor number 5. Here comes Adriana Rizzo, one of the 3 members of the family, now entering this match, and is greeted by a guitar right over the head by Lita. See Lita's fired up outside the ring. Tiffany Lane now going on the offensive on Kimasaki on the corner. Lita with a fireman's carry, slamming down Adriana Rizzo. Tiffany Lane once again with those double knee drops on Kimasaki. And here comes the pin. Double pin here. Tiffany Lane kicks out, and so does Adriana Rizzo. We almost had a double elimination here. And there's Tiffany Lane with a slam on Akima Sake. Lita being thrown into the announcer's desk. We're now having this fight right in front of my eyes here at the announcer's table. And there's Lady Abigail by Tiffany Lane. And somehow Akima Sake manages to kick out despite Tiffany Lane using her finishing move, Lady Abigail. Adriana Rizzo bringing out a steel chair and smashes it right over the head of Lita. Lita, who's bleeding all over the place right now. Adriana Rizzo going for the elimination. 1, 2, but Lita kicks out. And there's Tiffany Lane attempting a double axe handle onto Akima Sake. Akima Sake reverses. And here comes Akima Sake with a bulldog onto Tiffany Lane. And a facebuster by Akima Sake. Once again, this is for the Women's Championship. The Women's Championship that was vacated. Will Lita be able to eliminate Akima Sake here? Akima Sake kicks out. There's still a fight inside this wonderful girl from Japan. Lita with an arm drag on Akima Sake across the ring. Tiffany Lane going under the ring, bringing out another acoustic guitar. Adriana Rizzo sees it coming now and knocks out her hand, only to be clotheslined by Tiffany Lane. We have Akima Sake, who's strung up against the ropes. Lita attempting to clothesline her outside the ring. Akima Sake ducks under though and manages to escape. All 4 women now fighting outside the ring. Akima Sake going for the elimination. 1, 2, but Tiffany Lane somehow manages to kick out. I'll say one thing, these women certainly have lots of endurance. These 4 fighting for the biggest prize possible, the Women's Championship. There's a DDT by Tiffany Lane as she goes to eliminate Adriana Rizzo. And Adriana Rizzo has been eliminated. We're now down to these 3 women, Akima Sake, Lita, and Tiffany Lane. And Akima Sake has just been eliminated. We're now back to Lita and Tiffany Lane, the first 2 women to enter this match. The first 2 competitors are now the 2 left standing, as both Adriana Rizzo and Akima Sake have both just been eliminated. And you gotta give it to these 2 women. They are taking it to the distance right now. Tiffany Lane is covered in bruises. Lita has been busted wide open. But they're still going at it. The first 2 competitors still standing strong in this Survivor Games Gauntlet. And now, here we go, 5 seconds away from finding out who competitor number 6 is. And here comes Amber Charlotte as competitor number 6. Lita has just been eliminated by Tiffany Lane. And is now a one-on-one between Tiffany Lane and the Warrior Princess, Amber Charlotte. Amber Charlotte, who has declared that when she comes back out tonight for the main event, for the Raw Elimination match, the 4 versus 4 tag team elimination, she'll be coming out as Hercules' Women's Champion. That was her declaration, and it could be very possible as she comes out as the 6th competitor, coming out extremely fresh against Tiffany Lane, who's been in this match since the very beginning. Tiffany Lane throwing Amber Charlotte into the barricade. She understands who she's up against. Amber Charlotte is not a pushover. She is one of the strongest, most competitive women in GTW. Of the right hand of the Grand Tour and World Heavyweight Champion himself, Hercules. And there's Amber Charlotte with a Hurricanrana onto Tiffany Lane. And here she is, just attacking Tiffany Lane here, massacring her with that steel chair. Amber Charlotte had qualified for this match after defeating the return of Dudley Boyz, who made the mistake of trying to compete in the ring before she was cleared of her injuries. Tiffany Lane has just been eliminated, and now we're waiting to see who Amber Charlotte's next opponent is. And here comes competitor number 8. It's Rachel Rodriguez. Rachel Rodriguez now going face to face with Amber Charlotte. Amber Charlotte not waiting for Rodriguez to get to the ring as she meets her on the entrance ramp. And that's Rachel Rodriguez coming in strong with a swinging right hand onto Amber Charlotte. We only have one more competitor after these two. And right now, we got this one-on-one between Rachel Rodriguez and Amber Charlotte in this Survivor Games gauntlet match. And there's a fireman's carry by Rachel Rodriguez. She is coming in hot. You can see she is hungry for that women's championship, and she knows she only has to go through 2 women to get to it. She's attempting a sleeper hold onto Amber Charlotte. Amber Charlotte trying to fight her way out of it. Rachel Rodriguez not giving out there. She's keeping it offense onto Amber Charlotte. And there she is with a cobra onto Amber Charlotte. And there's Amber Charlotte slamming Rachel Rodriguez down into the mat to break the hold. And now Amber Charlotte looking for another elimination here. But Rachel Rodriguez kicks out. You can see that Amber Charlotte is not sweating yet. Still looking very confident. Rachel Rodriguez, though, fighting back as hard as she can, going for those kicks in the midsection. Rachel Rodriguez with a suplex onto Amber Charlotte. And here comes the pin. 1, 2, but Amber Charlotte kicks out. Amber Charlotte struggling to get to her feet as Rachel Rodriguez is giving her a bigger fight than the Warrior Princess may have anticipated here. Rachel Rodriguez is another newcomer, someone who's been wrestling in the undercard in GTW. This is her pay-per-view debut as she's taking on Amber Charlotte in this match. Amber Charlotte now going for the pin. 1, 2. Rachel Rodriguez kicks out. And Amber Charlotte again, Rachel Rodriguez once again kicking out. You can see that Amber Charlotte's starting to get frustrated, realizing she might have underestimated her opponent in this match. Here they are now fighting outside the ring. Remember, it's false count anywhere. You don't need to be in the pin to be in the ring to eliminate your opponent. And Amber Charlotte going in the ring, going for that trash can. And it seems she's taking a little too much time showboating, giving Rachel Rodriguez a chance to capitalize. Her ego maybe getting the best of her in this match. 1, 2, but Amber Charlotte again kicks out. I think Amber Charlotte is making too big a mistake of underestimating Rachel Rodriguez, who is proving to be a contender in this match. And now there's the real Warrior Princess showing herself, using that raw, brutal strength on Rachel Rodriguez. And Rodriguez with a spinning right hook. She now grabs the trash can, throwing it right on top of Amber Charlotte. that metal trash can landing right on top of her, and Rachel Rodriguez now sizing her up. You can see Amber Charlotte is completely dazed. Rachel Rodriguez going off the ropes, and a spinning neckbreaker onto Amber Charlotte. And here comes Rachel Rodriguez sizing up the crowd here in Allentown, Pennsylvania, going absolutely crazy. She comes to the ropes, but nobody home. And Amber Charlotte gets in a super kick onto Rachel Rodriguez. She attempts to throw the trash can. Rachel Rodriguez retreats outside the ring, barely dodging the attack. She ducks and weaves, but Amber Charlotte now catches her into that strike combo. Rachel Rodriguez now trapped into the corner. And here we go, the final competitor about to come on out. And here goes Thea Hale, one of the members of Chase University. As the final competitor, we now have ourselves a triple threat elimination match between Amber Charlotte, Thea Hale, who is by far the freshest competitor in this match, and newcomer Rachel Rodriguez. And you see Thea Hale coming in strong. She goes for that chop, but Rachel Rodriguez not having it. And here comes an underarm suplex. 1, 2, Thea Hale kicks out. There's Amber Charlotte grabbing the steel stairs. The steel stairs being thrown into the ring now. We now have a very dangerous foreign object, a very dangerous weapon in the middle of the ring. And Amber Charlotte takes down Rachel Rodriguez. And Amber Charlotte running across the ring, taking down Rachel Rodriguez with a big knee. Could this be an elimination here? But no, Rachel Rodriguez kicks out. She still has much more fight in her. One of these three women will be walking out of here as the women's champion. Will it be Amber Charlotte, Rachel Rodriguez, or Thea Hale? Thea Hale now unleashing those brutal attacks on Rachel Rodriguez. Rodriguez sweeping the leg. Amber Charlotte now bringing in a metal trash can into the ring, and now jumps Rachel Rodriguez, just throwing hands. And there's a kick by Rachel. Rodriguez going for an Irish whip, throwing Amber Charlotte out of the ring. Thea Hale takes advantage of the distraction, an Irish whip, and a takedown onto Rachel Rodriguez. And now Thea Hale sizing her up. Amber Charlotte laying these two take care of each other inside the ring. Thea Hale has Rachel Rodriguez in a submission hold. Will she tap out? No, she manages to reverse. She wrestles her way out. She gets a kick to the midsection. And a big powerbomb by Rachel Rodriguez, who now throws this metal trash can at her. And then comes out of nowhere with a takedown onto Amber Charlotte. Rachel Rodriguez with a neckbreaker on Amber Charlotte. Leg scissors on the Thea Hale. She's going for the elimination. 1, 2. No. Thea Hale gets the shoulder up at the very last second. The two now locking up. Rachel Rodriguez setting her up for a suplex. Thea Hale going for the back of the knee. Here comes the Irish whip. And a takedown onto Rachel Rodriguez. Amber Charlotte taking Thea Hale from behind. Hale going for a kick to the side temple. A spinning heel kick, if you will. She's now setting her up. A university DDT. 1, 2. Amber Charlotte gets a shoulder up and still remains in this matchup. to see how hungry all three women are. The Women's Championship on the line. Thea Hale throwing Amber Charlotte into the corner, accidentally knocking her into the referee. And this is how aggressive they are, how hard all three of them are fighting right now. Thea Hale retreating outside the ring. Rachel Rodriguez with a weapon in hand. She tries to, instead, going for the Irish Whip, throwing Thea Hale out of the ring, leaving her alone with Amber Charlotte. She now takes Amber Charlotte onto the ring apron. And you can hear that thud echoing across the arena here in Allentown, Pennsylvania, with a sold-out crowd going absolutely wild in the Survivor Games Gauntlet match. Rachel Rodriguez coming off the top rope. However, no way home as Amber Charlotte rolls her way into the ring. And there's Thea Hale with an armbar onto Amber Charlotte. There's no rope break in this match. She either has to fight her way out or tap out. And she does. She manages to roll her way out. Thea Hale getting a trash can in the back of the head for her troubles. And Amber Charlotte taking advantage of the distraction. Rachel Rodriguez though gets the shove up, and look at Amber Charlotte. She is absolutely livid right now. Amber Charlotte is absolutely livid. She can taste that championship gold, but Rachel Rodriguez just won't stay down. Right now we got Thea Hale fighting Amber Charlotte outside the ring. The two now, Amber Charlotte now being thrown into the steel stairs. There's Amber Charlotte now taunting Thea Hale. Thea Hale dodging. And there's a shoulder buster by Thea Hale. Now looking like she's going for an elimination. No, she's going for a submission hold, an armbar onto Amber Charlotte. Will she tap out? No, she manages to wrestle her way out, throwing in those punches onto Thea Hale. And there's Rachel Rodriguez being thrown to the stairs. Here comes the pin. 1, 2, 3, and Thea Hale has been eliminated. We're now down. It's now down to these two women, Rachel Rodriguez and Amber Charlotte, who will become the women's champion. And there's a drop kick by Rachel Rodriguez. And here she is, waiting for Amber Charlotte. And a moonsault right outside the ring, taking her down. She's going for the elimination. Will Rachel Rodriguez be women's champion? No, Amber Charlotte kicks out. Rachel Rodriguez applying the sleeper. Amber Charlotte trying to fight her way out with those knees. Here she goes. Once again, the pin. Women's title on the line. 1, 2. No, again, Amber Charlotte with the shoulder up. The anticipation is absolutely killing me, folks. She's again attempting another submission. Trying to do what she can to weaken Amber Charlotte. You see, Amber Charlotte is busted open. This is not her only match. She still has to wrestle in tonight's main event. 1, 2, 3. And we got it! Rachel Rodriguez has defeated Amber Charlotte and is now the new GTW Women's Champion.
And new Women's Champion, Rachel Rodriguez.
Amazing! Rachel Rodriguez covered in blood, but somehow climbed the ranks. Just a week ago, she was in the undercard, wrestling in house shows, dark matches, and our secondary show Underground. And here she is, and making her pay-per-view debut. Rachel Rodriguez, the new GTW Women's Champion. Amazing, folks. And we have a comment from Dancing Red Sox saying, yes, that was awesome. I agree. That was an incredible match. Congratulations to our new women's champion, Rachel Rodriguez. As for the Warrior Princess, Amber Charlotte, who still has to wrestle another match in tonight's main event, sucks to be you. When we come back, we're going to have another title on the line as Benjamin Bourne challenges the Destroyer. Catalysm for the hardcore title coming up next. Don't go away, folks. We still got another incredible match coming up. Welcome back, everyone, and welcome to our next match. We got the Hardcore Championship on the line as Benjamin Bourne now challenges the Destroyer Catalysm for the Hardcore title. Catalysm has, for the last couple of months, been ambushing and tormenting Benjamin Bourne, even defeating him in a Hardcore title match in our last pay-per-view event, Fright Night, our Halloween special. Taking things further, Catalysm had threatened to take out Chosen. Chosen, taking matters to his own hands, has defeated Catalysm in a one-on-one match, but end up suffering the repercussions after being ambushed backstage, being thrown off a balcony, being sent to the emergency room. Benjamin Bourne has challenged Catalysm here tonight, looking to get revenge for what he claims to be not his friend, but really, let's face it, his friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Benjamin Bourne versus Catalysm, hardcore title, right here, right now, on Survivor Games.
The following contest is an Extreme Rules match and is for the Hardcore Championship.
And here comes bad boy Benjamin Bourne making his grand entrance here in Allentown, Pennsylvania in this special pay-per-view event. By default, any match that is for the Hardcore Championship will be a hardcore match. There will be no ring out, no disqualification. You can only win by pinfall or submission. Anything goes. Weapons completely encouraged in this match. And it's just the way Benjamin Bourne wants it. When asked by Victoria Long what's his strategy into going into this match against Catalysm, his response was, I think I'm going to hit him really hard with a steel chair, maybe a 2x4. Let's throw through a table or two and see what happens. And here comes his opponent, the Hardcore Champion, the Destroyer Catalysm. This man is an absolute beast. 100% pure monster. It takes so much just to knock him down, just to face him. Not only does he not feel pain himself, but he mentally enjoys inflicting it. He has no motivation for going after Benjamin Bourne or Chosen other than looking for victims for himself to torment. He has no conscience, no rhyme or reason. This is a man who just wants to see the world burn.
Introducing the challenger from Green Bay, Wisconsin, weighing in at 231 pounds, bad boy Benjamin Bourne. And his opponent From parts unknown, weighing in at 353 pounds, the Hardcore Champion, the Destroyer!
Benjamin Bourne being the fan favorite, but honestly, I think if this is going to be anything like Fright Night, my money might be on Catalysm for this hardcore title match. Benjamin Bourne looking at what's on the line, the prize. However, in his mind, it is not about the hardcore championship. No, this is about getting revenge for his friend, Chosen. And here comes the bell as this match gets on its way. And immediately, Catalysm starting on that offense. Benjamin Bourne trying so hard to try and knock down Catalysm, but getting nowhere. Being thrown into a brick wall. And there's Catalysm with a bear hug. Benjamin Bourne doing all he can to try and fight his way out. Throwing those elbows, clapping the hands. He goes for a right hook. Catalysm immediately catches it and counters. And now Catalysm has Benjamin Bourne against the ropes. Benjamin Bourne throwing Catalysm outside the ring. And there's Bourne working on the leg. He knows with a man like Catalysm, a monster like Catalysm, you gotta take any advantage you can. Someone as big as him, you gotta take out his framework. You gotta make sure he can't stand. You gotta keep a man like him on the ground. Catalysm now throwing Benjamin Bourne like a ragdoll across the floor outside the ring. And Catalysm grabbing the first weapon in this hardcore match, a sledgehammer. Benjamin Bourne, seeing that coming, immediately knocks it out of his hand, but is still powerless to fight back against this monster. Catalysm now throwing Benjamin Bourne back in the ring. Benjamin Bourne attempting to knock him down, but to no avail. He ducks under. And it's Catalysm just looking angry. Here he comes, coming off the ropes. Big boot by Catalysm onto Benjamin Bourne. And now grapples up. And Benjamin Bourne going across that top rope. Catalysm going for the pin. 1, 2. However, Benjamin Bourne kicks out. And again, Benjamin Bourne just throwing himself into a brick wall there. He's coming in with lefts and rights and a flying right hook, using all his momentum to knock down the hardcore champion. And there's Bad Boy Benjamin Bourne trying to keep Catalysm on the ground. Like I said earlier, when you're facing a monster like Catalysm, someone of his size, you gotta keep him off his feet. If that's even manageable. Here's Catalysm going in the ring, looking for another weapon, bringing out a Singapore cane. It's amazing how the crowd screaming out, "We want tables." You think they got enough of that on our opening match earlier tonight, when the Dudley Boyz successfully retained the tag team titles against the Hardy Boyz in that Iron Man tables match. What an opener, and it seems the night has only gotten better since. We just had Rachel Rodriguez becoming the women's champion, going right from undercard right into main event status all in one night. And now Benjamin Bourne hoping to work a miracle to take on Catalysm. He now has a Singapore cane in hand. And he uses it right between the eyes of Catalysm. But Catalysm hardly fazed by it, grabbing Benjamin by the throat. And here's a choke slam. And Catalysm now going to the pin. 1, 2. Benjamin Bourne gets his shoulder up, but barely. And now Catalysm sizing up Bad Boy Benjamin Bourne with a sidewalk slam. Again, going for that pin. 1, 2. You see Catalysm trying to end this match early. It's almost like an act of mercy on his part. And now Benjamin Bourne, not want to stay down, is facing the repercussions as Catalysm breaks that Singapore cane right over the back of Benjamin Bourne. Bourne now throwing those elbows onto Destroyer Catalysm. A big boot to knock him down. And the two once again fighting outside the ring. Benjamin Bourne with a sledgehammer in hand, ready to use it on the hardcore champion. And he thrusts it right into the sternum. Oh, Catalysm is just going to town with that metal sledgehammer onto Destroyer Catalysm. Followed by a slam right onto the weapon. And here he is, sizing him up. The two fighting in front of our announcer's desk. It's Benjamin Bourne using all his strength just to lift him. Catalysm now rolling into the pin, rolling into the ring. Benjamin Bourne going for the cover. 1, 2, and Catalysm kicks out. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go away, because after this match, there's going to be an important announcement from director Charles Elliott right after this hardcore match. Catalysm now coming out with an acoustic guitar from under the ring. And he breaks the guitar right over Benjamin Bourne's head. Bourne seeing stars, doing all he can to try and fight back, throwing those elbows into the ribs of Catalysm. He goes for a kick and a DDT by Benjamin Bourne. He's going outside the ring, going for the equalizer. He's got sledgehammer in hand. The one thing that has been giving the advantage in this match, as he once again goes to town. Every strike he uses is, I keep hearing yelling, "This is for Chosen," every time he wields that sledgehammer. You see Catalysm starting to get a little worried as he struggles to pull himself up on those ropes. Benjamin Bourne trying to take advantage, but ends up getting a knee to the face. And Bourne, once again, using all his strength to take down Catalysm. Here comes the cover. And Catalysm gets the shoulder up at the very last second. Once again, Bourne going for that equalizer. Catalysm is coming, goes for a blind clothesline. Bourne taking advantage of the confusion, the duck under. He's now on the top rope. And it seems something went wrong. Benjamin Bourne slipping off that top rope. It seems some of the injuries that he may have gotten in this match are starting to take effect. You can see Benjamin Bourne is not 100% at the moment. He's looking a little dizzy, actually. And Catalysm coming in with those powerful clothesline onto Bad Boy Bourne. And now it's Catalysm using the equalizer onto Bourne. Now going for the cover. 1, 2, and Bourne kicks out. Catalysm thought one shot to the wrist with that sledgehammer would be all it would take to keep Benjamin Bourne down. And Bourne just keeps on fighting. He keeps that fighting spirit going. And here's Catalysm. The first fireman's carry with a backbreaker onto Benjamin Bourne. And now here he is sizing him up. Sidewalk slam. 1, 2, 3, and Catalysm retains the hardcore title.
Here is your winner, and still hardcore champion, the Destroyer!
You can see the referee wants nothing to do with Catalysm as he quickly gives him the belt and quickly gets out of that ring. Is there no one that can stop this monster? Catalysm once again destroying Benjamin Bourne for the second time in a row, retaining the Hardcore Championship. Unfortunately, Bourne has not been able to avenge his friend Chosen here tonight. We still got more action coming up, because coming up we have the men's division for the Survivor Games Gauntlet, as we have Adam Cole, Karrion Kross, Barry Jenkins, John Bradshaw Layfield, the Great Khali, Rhino, Farouk, and Jon Moxley, who will all be competing in the men's division for the Survivor Games Gauntlet match to determine who will be the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. This will be followed by Charles Elliott coming out to the ring to make a special announcement. And then our main event, the War Elimination match. Steven Dynamite, Dio Sebation, The Witch, and Amanda Price in a 4 versus 4 match against Amber Charlotte, who will be coming out for the second time tonight. Rebecca Troy, Archangel, and Hercules of the Old Gods for our main event. Don't go anywhere, we've got plenty more of Grand Tour Wrestling action here tonight on Survivor Games. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Survivor Games Gauntlet match.
The following contest is a gauntlet eliminator match. The rules of the match are as follows. 2 superstars will start in the ring. At regular intervals, a new superstar enters the match. Elimination can occur anywhere in the arena. The match continues until 1 superstar remains, and that superstar will be declared the winner.
And here comes our first contender here tonight, John Bradshaw Layfield.
And from New York City, weighing in at 290 pounds, John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL.
Here comes JBL as the first opponent here at the Survivor Games Gauntlet, who had qualified due to a disqualification when Farouk had made his long return after 20 years, throwing a punch into John Bradshaw Layfield's face during his qualifying match, causing the Sandman to be disqualified, and vice versa, putting JBL in the Survivor Gauntlet here tonight. And what's on the line is whoever wins tonight will be the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. Whoever wins the gauntlet here will be facing Hercules at our next pay-per-view event, Holiday Mayhem, for the World Heavyweight title. Holiday Mayhem will be live streaming here at Infinite Fantasy at twitch.tv on Christmas Day.
From Warner Robins, Georgia, weighing in at 275 pounds, Farouk!
And the irony of this, Farouk being the second competitor. Farouk getting into the gauntlet very much the same way as JBL. JBL wanting to give Farouk a receipt, ends up coming into his match and getting his opponent disqualified. And now these two will be the first 2 competitors. Former allies, former best friends, former brothers. At once, they both formed the Acolytes, the APA, and now have become bitter rivals, bitter enemies, and are facing off one-on-one as the first two competitors in the Survivor Games Gauntlet match. And you can see that there's a lot of pent-up aggression between Farouk and Bradshaw here. And you know how well these two men know each other. These two used to be tag team champions together. They have gone into business together as the Acolytes Protection Agency. There's a lot of history between these two men, and a lot that these two need to get off the table right here in this gauntlet match. And you see JBL going for those kicks. There's Farouk with a punch to the stomach. These two are heavyweight brawlers, not pulling any punches with each other. And Farouk going across the ring with a frog splash right onto JBL. And there's JBL with an elbow onto Farouk. Farouk being Irish whipped, and JBL going for a body slam. Farouk counters. And the sidewalk slam by Farouk. And you see Farouk now just throwing in those punches, aggressively attacking JBL. A lot of bad blood between these two. Ever since Farouk getting fired from the WWE, he blames JBL for not walking out with him. After going quiet, being retired for 20 years, Farouk has made his return here in the pro wrestling here in GTW for one simple reason. He's not here to become #1 contender for the World Heavyweight title. He's here to make sure JBL doesn't. His only goal here tonight is to make sure JBL is eliminated and take his revenge on his former brother-in-arms. And here comes the elimination as we speak. JBL kicking out at 1. And it's Farouk now working on the arm. And here we go. Farouk going for a foreign object, bringing out a guitar. And right before he can swing it, JBL counters him. He goes for that fireman's carry. And Farouk's stroke going across the top rope there. And there's a dirty shot by JBL, kicking the crown jewels of Farouk. Farouk now going for a leg sweep, knocking JBL on his back. Again, going for the elimination. And JBL kicks out. Once again, Farouk's goal is not to win this match. It's not to be #1 contender. He's here for one reason. He has laced up the boots just to make sure JBL does not make it. He is purely out here for revenge. And there's JBL with a takedown onto Farouk. He now has the guitar in hand and smashes it right over Farouk's head. And now JBL warming up, getting ready for that clothesline. Oh no, it looks like JBL has something even more sinister in mind for Farouk here as he sets him up for a powerbomb. And here comes the pin. 1, 2, and Farouk kicks out. That would have been very bittersweet on JBL's part if he was the one to eliminate Farouk. And here's Farouk being bounced to the ropes, and there's a clothesline from hell by John Bradshaw Lakefield. 1, 2, and Farouk gets the shoulder up, and you can see the anger behind JBL's eyes. Here comes JBL getting to the top rope. Waiting for Farouk to come. He's like, come on, you son of a... Get up here. And here he comes with a double axe handle. And here comes Farouk with a crossbody takedown. He's now lining him up. And what a power slam by Farouk. 1, 2, and JBL gets the shoulder up. Farouk attempting that bear hug on JBL. And here comes the next competitor. kicks out, and now we have Adam Cole. Adam Cole is now the third competitor in this Survivor Games gauntlet match. And that's with a buster on the JBL. And Adam Cole with amazing moonsault off the second rope, going for the elimination. And that's Farouk hitting Adam Cole over the head with a guitar, saying if anyone is going to eliminate him, it's going to be me. And there's a spine buster by Farouk. I'm getting the sense that Adam Cole is really more of a third wheel in this tangle right now. And you can see that he's fired up. He doesn't care about the rival between these two men. Adam Cole, he's here to become #1 contender for the World Heavyweight title. His eyes are on Hercules. He wants to face Hercules for the World Heavyweight title at Holiday Mayhem next month on Christmas Day. And there's Adam Cole going for open hand chop. JBL now countering with a powerbomb on Adam Cole. And here comes the pin. 1, 2, and and Adam Cole gets the shoulder up. JBL now using the ropes' leverage, completely legal in this no disqualification false count anywhere gauntlet match. And whoa, I don't believe it. Did JBL and Farouk just do a double team move on Adam Cole? You can see some of those tag team instincts just came in for a second between these two. For a moment, I almost have a flashback. Remember when they were the APA. Adam Cole now going for the elimination. 1, 2, but JBL kicks out, and that's Farouk hitting Adam Cole the stop sign, and then gets JBL for good measure, but JBL out of nowhere with another clothesline from hell. 1, 2, 3, and JBL did it! JBL did it! He has eliminated Farouk! JBL has gotten the last laugh over Farouk after everything the last couple of weeks. However, JBL's celebration is short as Adam Cole now takes it to John Bradshaw Layfield. It's such a shame because for a moment when those two double teamed on Adam Cole, for a moment it brought me back to the days when they were the APA, back when they were still friends, when they were still brothers. But now as Farouk waddles away in defeat, JBL finds himself alone in the ring with Adam Cole. Adam Cole with an elbow onto JBL. And here it comes with a flying kick onto JBL, now going for the pin. And JBL gets the shoulder up. Adam Cole now going under the ring, bringing out a steel chair. And he hits JBL over the head with the steel chair, now attacking in the back. Adam Cole ready, he is vicious right now. Now that Farouk is out of the picture for both these men, it is now about the World Heavyweight Championship. The winner will be going on to Holiday Mayhem on Christmas Day to face Hercules for the World Heavyweight title. JBL now going for the pin, going to eliminate Adam Cole. And Adam Cole getting the shoulder up, JBL kicking the assault, but there's Adam Cole with a kick to the head. JBL rolls out of the ring, trying to gain some distance. However, it seems Adam Cole is in pursuit as he comes in with a moonsault outside the ring. And here comes the pin. It's false count anywhere here. 1, 2, and JBL kicks out. Much to Adam Cole's surprise. You can see the bruises all over JBL from his scuffle with Farouk here. Adam Cole going for that power driver. Will this be enough to eliminate JBL? 1, 2, no! Again, JBL gets the shoulder up, and you can see the frustration on Adam Cole's face. And we're about to find out who the fourth competitor is in the Survivor Games Gauntlet match. And here comes Barry Jenkins making his way to the ring. Barry Jenkins is now the fourth competitor. And Adam Cole, JBL going back and forth with those pins, countering pin after pin here. And Barry Jenkins about to interject that steel chair, but it's cut off by JBL and Adam Cole. And there's Adam Cole applying the submission onto Barry Jenkins. Barry Jenkins throwing those right hands onto Adam Cole. Knocks the stop sign right out of JBL's hand. Now going to pin Adam Cole here. Adam Cole gets the shoulder up. And here they are fighting in front of the announcer's desk. And Adam Cole being thrown into the barricade. And here comes Barry Jenkins with those strike combos, but JBL not having it, and using that raw power to lift up Barry Jenkins, knocking him down, and here comes the pin, and Barry Jenkins gets the shoulder up. Now we got JBL fighting Adam Cole. He's going for the elimination of Adam Cole here. 1, 2, and Adam Cole gets the shoulder up. JBL thinking he got his biggest obstacle out of the way when he eliminated his former brother-in-arms Farouk, but now it seems to be having even more trouble between these two. And here comes Barry Jenkins pinning Adam Cole, and Adam Cole kicks out. And there's JBL with a stop sign over Barry Jenkins, but Adam Cole sees it coming and catches it. And JBL trying to wrestle it out of his hand. And a clothesline from hell by JBL on Adam Cole. Barry Jenkins throwing JBL out of the way. Barry Jenkins has his sight set on Adam Cole here. And there's a corkscrew by Adam Cole. And there's JBL calling out Adam Cole. Adam Cole trash talking back. He grabs the foreign object. And before he can use it, JBL with a low blow. JBL gets a low blow on Adam Cole. Barry Jenkins takes advantage. And Adam Cole has been eliminated. And now JBL going for the elimination on Barry Jenkins. And Barry Jenkins kicks out. There's an elbow drop by John Bradshaw Layfield. It is now back to a one-on-one match. Barry Jenkins setting him up. Setting him on top of the stop sign. Here comes the pin. 1, 2, and JBL again kicks out. We've had 2 eliminations so far in this 8-man Survivor Games Gauntlet match. Barry Jenkins throwing JBL into the barricade. And here he comes with a crossface on the John Bradshaw Layfield. He goes for the kick and a DDT by JBL. Here comes the pin. 1, 2, but Barry Jenkins kicks out. There's John Bradshaw Layfield using his raw power over Barry Jenkins here. Bruises all over his body. You can see he is war-torn, but he is still ready to fight. And there's JBL with a crossface on the Barry Jenkins. Barry Jenkins struggling to fight his way out, but the elbows do the trick. And here comes a kick. Barry Jenkins now with that right hand and an elbow right to the back of the neck. And here comes the pin. 1, 2, 3. JBL has been eliminated. Now we're about to find out who the 5th competitor is in the Survivor Games Gauntlet match. And here comes Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross making his way to the ring. Barry Jenkins meeting him onto the ramp with the steel garbage can. The two starting the fight on the entranceway ramp. And now Barry Jenkins ready to meet Karrion Kross in the ring. Karrion Kross faced Dio Sebation last month on Halloween at our pay-per-view event Fright Night for the World Heavyweight title in a Falls Count Anywhere match. So you can imagine that Karrion Kross feels very at home right here, especially getting Barry Jenkins one-on-one. And here comes the cover. 1, 2, but Barry Jenkins kicks out. And here's Karrion Kross sizing him up. Instead, he's going out of the ring, bringing out a foreign object. He has a shovel in hand, a steel shovel, and he swings it right across the back of Barry Jenkins. Karrion Kross cutting right to the point. And Barry Jenkins kicks out. Karrion Kross now just hammering away in the back of Barry Jenkins, torturing him, doing everything he can to dissect his opponent. He has a very good strategy. Try to eliminate Barry Jenkins before the next competitor can come out. Try and keep this one-on-one for as long as he can. Try to avoid the ring being filled with different competitors. It's Barry Jenkins with a DDT onto Karrion Kross onto the steel shovel. And follows up with a very unorthodox variation of a suplex. And now Barry Jenkins with his flashy style on that top rope with an atomic elbow drop onto Karrion Kross, and here comes the pin. 1, 2, but Karrion Kross kicks out. He's still in this match, very fresh. Barry Jenkins has been in this competition for quite a long time now. Karrion Kross aggressively throwing that shovel, completely missed, but you can see the intent behind him. He's not here to play nice. He is definitely out here to hurt people, and a massive suplex. The entire ring just shook. 1, 2, and Barry Jenkins kicks out. And here he is now sizing him up. Karrion Kross going for a power slam on the Barry Jenkins. 1, 2, 3. Barry Jenkins has been eliminated. Karrion Kross keeping things one-on-one here. This strategy working. And here comes the Rhino. Karrion Kross bringing out baseball bat. He knows who he's up against here. That referee just keeps getting in his way. Karrion Kross attempting to use the baseball bat on Rhino. Rhino definitely not a force to be taken lightly. This man is a juggernaut all on his own. And Karrion Kross is going to have to use every vicious playbook he knows to tangle with him. Rhino also very experienced. This is an ECW legend taking on Karrion Kross right now. Rhino originated from Extreme Championship Wrestling, promoted by Paul Heyman himself, where every match was a hardcore match. He then later on to dominate the mid-card in WWE, and went on later in his golden years to wrestle in NWA. And here he is in GTW in the Survivor against Gauntlet match against Karrion Kross. And you see Karrion Kross not underestimating his opponent as he's using full force. Those slams shaking the arena every time Rhino gets slammed. Rhino now under the ring, bringing out a guitar. Karrion Kross intercepting him. attacking Karrion Kross. He has the guitar in hand. Karrion Kross kicks it out of the way. But there's Rhino with a clothesline, taking down Killer Kross. And Rhino with the pin. 1, 2. And Karrion Kross kicks out. And here comes Karrion Kross with a knee to the face to Rhino. Here comes another knee right across Rhino. Here he is, grabbing the guitar. And he smashes it right over the body of Rhino. Now going for that pin. 1, 2. He's continuing his strategy of trying to eliminate as fast as possible to keep this gauntlet one-on-one doing through. That's his best strategy here. The less people involved, the easier time he will have. 1, 2, and Rhino again kicks out. Karrion Kross choking the life out of Rhino here. If Karrion Kross has any advantage over him, it's his use. And here he is, sizing him up. Karrion Kross getting clotheslined by Rhino. And he is being thrown into the ring. There's Karrion Kross with a shot to the ribs. Rhino now rolling him into a pin. 1. And Karrion Kross kicks out 1. You can still see that Karrion Kross is still very fresh despite the beating he has taken from Rhino. He is someone who invites pain into his life. And the man from Sin City, outside the ring, looking for that steel chair. This is a very dangerous match type. There is no disqualification as anything goes. Eliminate your opponent by any means necessary. However, Rhino again kicks out on 2. Karrion Kross now stopping on the hand of Rhino. And here he is twisting the ankle. Karrion Kross is a very young competitor. Rhino is very seasoned, but has aged. He can't take the beating like he used to, and Karrion Kross knows it. And we're about to have our next competitor come into the ring. And here comes the great Khali. The equalizer is here. The great Khali. A super heavyweight, a monster all himself. This juggernaut now about to square off with Rhino and Karrion Kross. We have a battle of the heavyweights in this gauntlet match. And Rhino, right off the bat, attempting to throw the stairs at the great Khali. And Khali, with minimal effort, takes down both Karrion Kross and Rhino. And here he is, wrenching the neck on Karrion Kross. And Rhino with a gore. Rhino gets the gore on the great Khali. 1. But great Khali gets to show up right away. Not many people kick out of the gore. Usually when Rhino executes that move, it's game over. However, the great Khali kicked out after only a 1 count. Just a testament of his super strength and endurance. And there's Karen Cross going to town onto Rhino, throwing those right hands. And a huge clothesline by the Great Khali. The Great Khali was the one who defeated Batista to qualify for this match. And Karen Cross has now been eliminated by this Juggernaut. And here comes Rhino with the clothesline onto Khali. Rhino utilizing a headbutt. We got two Juggernauts going at it. Both these men considered to be some of the strongest to ever be in the ring. Rhino attempting a high-risk maneuver, however Khali dodged it by rolling in the ring. And look at that strength as he picks up the stairs and slams it right onto Rhino. Rhino now being thrown into the barricade. And there's Rhino with a takedown on the Great Khali. Remember, the Great Khali, he ended up qualifying by beating Dave Batista of all people. Rhino has executed a second gore, but it was not enough. Again, no one ever kicks out of the gore, but the Great Khali just kicked out of not one, but two gores by Rhino. You can see Rhino working outside the ring area. We have weapons scattered all over the place, and now there's Rhino taking up the steel stairs from Khali, but Khali just rolls it off. And Khali now back in the ring, only to retrieve a steel chair. He follows Rhino back outside. And Rhino slams Khali's head right into the apron. And a spine buster by Rhino. These two men getting reckless as Khali just gets thrown into the referee. Rhino with a chair, brutalizing Khali in the ribs with it. And what's Rhino doing? He's taunting Khali, daring him to get back into that ring. And he goes for a frog splash outside the Khali sidesteps. And look at that brute strength by the Great Khali as he deadlifts the Rhino. What power by Khali. And there's Khali trying to crush the skull of the Rhino. And we're about to get our next competitor. And Rhino has been eliminated by knockout. Only one competitor left. And it's Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley meeting Khali at the entranceway. And Khali running into the ring. And here they go, the two meeting outside the ring. Jon Moxley versus the Great Khali, the final two men in the Survivor Games Gauntlet. One of these two will be going up against Hercules for the World Heavyweight title at Holiday Mayhem on Christmas Day. And it's Khali going for the leg drop on Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley with a drop kick. Because Moxley using that brutal style, he knows who he's up against. Khali does have a reputation, but Moxley does too. Moxley, being known for his hardcore style, surviving many death matches, goes for an atomic elbow drop off the top rope outside the ring. Full momentum going into the Great Khali. And Moxley now continuing his assault on the Great Khali with those kicks. Looking to break the hand as he stomps with the bottom of his boot. That heel driving into the palm of Khali. Moxley now throwing the Great Khali back into the ring. This is it, folks. The final 2 men in this gauntlet. This is the number 1 contender match. Jon Moxley versus the Great Khali. Which one will face Hercules for the World Heavyweight title? If memory serves, Jon Moxley was put on the injured list months ago after facing Hercules in a steel cage match with the condition that if he won, he would be able to compete for the World Heavyweight title against Dio Sebation. Months later, the title now belongs to Hercules himself. If Jon Moxley can get the win here tonight, he will poetically be able to face Hercules for that very same title. And here's the Great Khali. He was thinking about grabbing that shovel, but now saying, no, I don't need this to win. I can beat him with my strength alone. And he might have just underestimated Jon Moxley as he goes for that arm drag takedown. And it's Khali with a huge elbow shot to Moxley. Moxley reversing with a European uppercut. And it's Jon Moxley with a stomp on the Great Khali. He goes for the pin. Will he do it? 1, 2. But the Great Khali gets the shoulder up. Here's Khali with a kick to the head to Jon Moxley. Khali now with an elbow. And there he goes. Taking him down. Here comes the pin. 1. Moxley reverses. A counter pin by Moxley. 1, 2. And he almost had it, but Khali managed to reverse. Moxley just milliseconds away from becoming number 1 contender. He comes out nowhere with a DDT for the win. 1, 2, 3. Jon Moxley is now the number 1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. Jon Moxley versus Hercules at Holiday Mayhem.
Jon Moxley!
What a huge victory for Jon Moxley here tonight. He will now have the opportunity to take revenge on Hercules after being hospitalized for that steel cage match. And as a bonus, he will now have a chance at the World Heavyweight Championship. You heard it here, folks. We now have our main event for Holiday Mayhem. The World Heavyweight title on the line. Jon Moxley versus Hercules. Don't go anywhere, because coming up next, Charles Elliott will be coming out with a very important announcement, followed by tonight's main event here on Survivor Games. And here comes Charles Elliott coming out to the ring to address the crowd here in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Welcome everyone to Grand Tour Wrestling Survivor Games. I am your director, Charles Elliott. I would like to congratulate our new Women's Champion, Rachel Rodriguez, and the new number 1 contender who will face Hercules for the World Heavyweight title at our next pay-per-view event, Holiday Mayhem, Jon Moxley, which will be live streaming Christmas Day right here on Infinite Fantasy at twitch.tv. This brings me to a very important announcement speaking of Holiday Mayhem. This goes out to anyone who calls himself an artist looking for free publicity. There will be an official post on the Infinite Fantasy If Instagram page this week. There will be a holiday-themed art contest. The rules are simple. You must be a follower of Infinite Fantasy If on Instagram in order to participate. The artwork can be anything you want so long as it fits in the theme of the holiday season. No fan art allowed, and the use of AI will automatically be disqualified. This contest is for real artists only. Public domain figures such as Santa Claus, for example, is not only allowed but very much encouraged. The sole winner of this contest will have their art as the centerpiece of the ring at the next pay-per-view event, Holiday Mayhem, which will be live streaming on Christmas Day, and later be posted on the Infinite Fantasy If YouTube channel. Runners-up will have their art posted on the Infinite Fantasy If Instagram page. All art posted, including the lucky winner, will have their social media names tagged. That also includes the winner having their artwork tagged in the middle of the ring for maximum publicity. You may submit your art by DMing Infinite Fantasy If on Instagram. All submissions are due no later than December 20th. I look forward to seeing the great artwork from the inspiring artists out there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for tonight's main event, the War Elimination match between the Old Gods versus Dio Sebation, The Witch, Amanda Price, and Steven Dynamite. Let's get ready to rumble. And there you have it, folks. There'll now be a contest. DM Infinite Fantasy If on Instagram to enter the contest with your artwork. The winner will have their work displayed in the middle of the ring at the next pay-per-view event, Holiday Mayhem, along with their social media tag. Coming up next, we have our main event. It's time, folks, for the main event tonight. These two factions have been at war for nearly a year now. Hercules, the leader of the Old Gods, both World Heavyweight and Grand Tour Champion, has been responsible for the injuries, the executions of many competitors in the rings. The man who has kidnapped the son of Charles Elliott, Damien, and used him as hostage to gain leverage over GTW. The man who has been responsible for hospitalizing Brenda Bison, causing her to be stripped of the women's title. The man who has ordered the execution of Witch and Amanda Price, nearly causing them their careers. The man who stole everything from Steven Dynamite and Dio Sebation. Him and the Old Gods will now be going in a 4 versus 4 tag team elimination match against their enemies. The goal here is to eliminate all 4 competitors. Ladies and gentlemen, the War Elimination match, our main event right here on Survivor Games.
The following contest is an elimination match. And the Demon, Dio Sebation. And the Witch, the Fallen.
And here they are, brother and sister, Dio Sebation and the Witch. The son and daughter of the legendary Dio Sebation, an old GTW legend. His two kids now taking the mantle as they come together in tonight's 4 versus 4 elimination tag team match. Dio Sebation, former world heavyweight champion, now teaming up with his sister the Witch. These two are ready for war. And I tell you, I think the old gods' days are numbered now that the fallen are here to bring the battle to the squared circle.
And his partners from Long Island, New York, weighing in at 214 pounds, the chosen one, Steven Dynamite!
And here's the former Grand Tour champion, the chosen one, Steven Dynamite, the rookie from Long Island, New York. Now, main event status. 1 year ago, he did the impossible and defeated the mighty Hercules for the Grand Tour title. But recently, thanks to the interference of Archangel, has lost the title back to that tyrant. And now, Steven Dynamite comes out here to fight with the fallen, not as a wrestler, not as a competitor, but as a man who's looking to stand up for what's right, who looks at the tyranny of the old gods, seeing the damage that they are doing to this great industry, and has come out on behalf of the fans of GTW as Grand Tour Wrestling Savior. Steven Dynamite, out here in the sold-out arena at Allentown, Pennsylvania, for our main event in this pay-per-view show. And if there's one thing the chosen one is ready for, it's war.
And from Allentown, Pennsylvania, Amanda Price.
And here's Amanda Price, here in her hometown, Allentown, Pennsylvania, the hometown girl, in front of her people in this sold-out arena. She has recently been in the injured list because of a head injury caused by Archangel being assaulted before her title match against Brenda Bison last month at Fright Night, and has just made her return last Wednesday on Brawl, saving Steven Dynamite from the assault from Rebecca Trey and Archangel. She is announced to be the fourth partner, fighting for the same reasons as the Fallen and Steven Dynamite. This is not about titles, this is not about grudges. Amanda Price is here in front of her people in her hometown to fight for what's right, to make sure that no one else in this company suffers in the hands of the old gods. And I see we have J Props here in the live chat. How you doing, J Props? Welcome to the show. You're just in time for our main event here tonight. And here comes the old gods, being led by their master Hercules, the world heavyweight and Grand Tour champion. And you see Hercules is being modest today, only bringing out one of his championship belts and not both of them. What a swell guy he is. I also can't notice that Amber Charlotte is not coming out with them. I'm starting to wonder if she's even going to make this match after her humiliating defeat in the Survivor Games gauntlet earlier tonight, losing her chance to become women's champion. And Jay Prof says he's been here creeping for bots. that's my admin right there.
Champions and the World Heavyweight Champions, the mighty, unbreakable, indestructible Hercules, Archangel, and the Olympian Rebecca Troy, the Old Gods.
And here's the Tyrants of GTW. These three, along with Amber Charlotte, have been wreaking havoc. Their most recent vile thing, brainwashing Damian Elliott into joining their faction. Steven Dynamite trying his hardest to get through to the young kid, feeling that he's suffering from Stockholm Syndrome, turning the tide with these four after being released from his kidnapping. And there's Rebecca Troy praying to her God, worshipping the mighty Hercules, the Grand Tour and World Heavyweight Champion, as they're about to go into war against Dio, Dynamite, Price, and Witch. And there's Hercules looking around the arena, looking focused. His two subordinates, Rebecca Troy and Archangel, standing by his side, ready for the big battle to come here tonight. The rules are simple. It's going to be 4 versus 4 in a tag team match. However, it won't be one false count. It's going to be elimination. You only win after all 4 competitors on the opposing team have been utterly defeated. You can lose either by submission, pinfall, or disqualification. There will be no count out. And here's Hercules in the middle of the ring, belt in hand, showing his dominance as the undisputed champion of Grand Tour Wrestling. You can hear the boos echoing throughout the arena. The crown being held up high by what many call the false god. I'll tell you what it isn't about tonight. It is not about the title. For the Old Gods, it's about erasing the heretics of GTW. Dio, Dynamite, Price, and the Witch. But for those 4, it's about proving that their opponents are the false god. It's about defeating the villains. About bringing peace to Grand Tour Wrestling. And here comes the Warrior Princess, Amber Charlotte.
And from Adelaide, Australia, the Warrior
making her own grand entrance.
Amber Charlotte.
And she looks pissed. It seems the EMTs have done a good job cleaning her up after getting busted open in the Survivor Games gauntlet match earlier tonight. It came between her and Rachel Rodriguez. Amber Charlotte coming so close to becoming women's champion. Earlier, before the match, Hercules even warned Amber Charlotte that trying to do 2 matches in one night was not a good idea, that he needed her at full capacity tonight for this war. And now Amber Charlotte coming in only in half capacity, without the women's title in hand. You can only imagine how humiliated and embarrassed she feels. And I can only imagine how much of that energy she's going to use onto her opponents here tonight. We're starting things off with Dio Sebation versus Hercules, the former World Heavyweight Champion against the current World Heavyweight Champion in the beginning of this main event match. There's Amanda Price with a shot to the wrist of Dio Sebation. Hercules graciously tagging in Rebecca Troy, giving her the honor to execute Dio Sebation here. But the former World Heavyweight Champion, the Demon, Dio Sebation, not staying down, easily overpowering the Olympian Rebecca Troy. Here comes Dio with an Irish whip from Rebecca Troy, full force into the corner as Dio now tags in the chosen one, Steven Dynamite, who goes for a kick to the midsection on Rebecca Troy. And Dynamite immediately going for the pin, but Rebecca Troy kicks out. Here goes Steven Dynamite coming off the ropes with a wheelbarrow, followed by a bulldog. And Dynamite sizing her up, again going for that pin. He's trying to conserve as much energy as possible. All four members of the Old Gods must be eliminated for Team Fallen Dynamite and Amanda Price to win this match. And there's Steven Dynamite using a hurricanrana, putting her into an armbar, but Rebecca Troy rolls out. Rebecca Troy attempting to grapple, but Steven Dynamite just seems to be too fast for her. And there's Rebecca Troy finally getting a counter on Steven Dynamite. And there's an open hand chop, knocking Steven Dynamite onto his back. And she follows it up with a net breaker. Rebecca Troy now tagging in Hercules. Now it's the former Grand Tour champion versus the current Grand Tour champion. I think you're all starting to see the pattern here. And there's Hercules going for that bear hug. Steven Dynamite fighting back though. And here's another wheelbarrow, followed by a DDT by Steven Dynamite, using that agility to overcome Hercules' raw strength. He now Irish whips him to the corner. Hercules getting the elbow to the face. Steven Dynamite now, again, another Irish whip, bringing Hercules to the corner once again. There he is attacking the knees, trying to make it hard for Hercules to stand. And Hercules again, using that raw power to overpower Steven Dynamite. And here's a hurricanrana. Amazing agility by the chosen one. Hercules desperate, now tagging in his subordinate, Archangel. Archangel, who came up with an impressive victory over Steven Dynamite last Wednesday on GTW Brawl. If not for the surprise return of Amanda Price, Steven Dynamite would have fallen victim into a 2-on-1 chair attack by Archangel and Rebecca Troy. And there's Archangel with a crossbody splash, but nobody home. And Steven Dynamite takes out Hercules for good measure. The two members of the Old Gods trying to double team him, but the former Grand Tour champion holding his own here. Dynamite now getting back in the ring and gets a shot in on Amber Charlotte just for good measure. You see both Amanda Price and the Witch in the corner, holding out their hands, trying to get that tag in. And here comes Archangel on that top rope, frog splash. Archangel going for the pin, attempting the elimination. But Steven Dynamite gets the shoulder up. Steven Dynamite starting to weaken. Out cold in the middle of the ring. Archangel continuing to pick him apart. And there's a super kick by Archangel onto Steven Dynamite. Steven Dynamite desperately trying to crawl to the corner as Archangel now goes for the pin. However, Dynamite kicks out before even a 2 count. And it looks like the chosen one still has gas in the tank. You can see Archangel very frustrated as he hammers away at Dynamite here. And Dynamite with a counter with a spinning heel kick right into the sternum of Archangel. And Archangel catching that third kick, driving the elbow right into the knee. And now, Steven Dynamite feeling the effects of that receipt. Dynamite now rolling Archangel into a pin. Here comes the count. 1, but Archangel kicks out. Steven Dynamite now going for the Irish whip. He attempts another wheelbarrow, but Archangel, studying his opponent, sees it coming and is able to counter the Chosen One. He goes for a punch. Steven Dynamite catching it, and now he goes for a second wheelbarrow. DDT. Archangel now in the corner as Steven Dynamite now tags in the Witch. The Witch and Steven Dynamite going for a double team move. And a double hip toss by the team of Steven Dynamite and the Witch. The Witch now the legal woman in this match. She now meets Archangel outside the ring. Archangel attempting a clothesline. The Witch counters, but then there's Archangel coming over with a hip toss. Archangel knows how agile the Witch is and how easily she can use that to her advantage. He's now using his brute strength to try and keep her down before she can gain any momentum. Archangel now throwing the Witch into the barricade. And here he is, folding the arm, using that joint manipulation on the Witch here. And there he is, driving both knees into the back of the Witch. And I think the key to this match is whoever gets the first elimination will have a huge advantage in this tag team match. Archangel taunting the Witch as she gets back into the ring. They grapple up. And a knee right into her face, followed by a moonsault. However, nobody home. The Witch rolls out of the way and makes a tag to Amanda Price. Amanda Price, now the legal woman, facing Archangel in this War Elimination match. And here she comes with a flying moonsault, flawlessly landing onto Archangel. Amanda Price wrestling in her hometown of Allentown, Pennsylvania. She's got a lot to prove. She's fighting in front of her friends and family here tonight in this sold-out arena in this live pay-per-view event. Amanda Price grabbing the ponytail of Archangel, using his leverage to drag him down to the submission hold. Archangel using his raw power to power himself out of it. And now Archangel once again gaining the advantage over Amanda Price. And now he makes the tag to Amber Charlotte. Now getting a chance to redeem herself after her devastating loss earlier tonight. And you see, Amber Charlotte is probably not going into this match at full capacity. She took a huge beating in the hands of Rachel Rodriguez earlier tonight. And here comes Amanda Price with a suplex city on to Amber Charlotte. 3 German suplexes in a row. And there she is, warming up, waiting for Amber Charlotte to get to her feet. And she attacks her from behind. Here comes an Irish whip into the corner. Amanda Price thrusting the elbow. And here she comes with a sweeping elbow drop onto Amber Charlotte, showboating. And for good reason too. Unfortunately, Rebecca Troy was able to break up the count. And there's Amber Charlotte now in the corner. Amanda Price tags in Dio Sebation. Dio Sebation with a hard right to the ribs of Amber Charlotte. Amber Charlotte, she's doing her best to fight back against the former World Heavyweight Champion. An arch whip into the corner. And Dio throwing an elbow into the face of Amber Charlotte. But this reversal did not last long as Amber Charlotte immediately recovered. And there's the Warrior Princess stopping away at the Demon, who is now trapped into the corner. The corner of the old gods. He is completely surrounded and ambushed. But here he is, coming back. But no, Amber Charlotte gets around him. and a beautiful takedown by the Warrior Princess. She goes for the cover, but Steven Dynamite able to break up the pin. Thus far, every competitor has had a chance to showcase their skills in the ring. Amber Charlotte now tagging in Hercules, the Old Gods, with a double team move. Amber Charlotte holding Dio Sebation still as Hercules goes for a hard right to the ribs. And now Dio brings Hercules to the ropes. And Hercules throws Dio out of the ring. Hercules trying his luck against Amanda Price, but ends up getting knocked down. And now the Witch also giving it to Hercules. And now Hercules taking his frustration out on Steven Dynamite as he goes to slam him right onto the ring apron. And there's a big power slam onto the Witch outside the ring. Two of the competitors taken out, but he is giving Dio enough time to recuperate, and Dio coming out of nowhere with a powerful clothesline, and now he deadlifts the undisputed champion over his head. And what power by the demon Dio Sebation, showing that he can hold his own against the self-proclaimed mighty god Hercules. And there's Dio with a knee to the ribs. And a German suplex by Dio Sebation. And he's going for a second one. No, he ends up turning around into a clothesline. He's going for the count, but Amber Charlotte breaks up the pin. Amanda Price now going for the Irish whip. A knee into the sternum of Hercules. As a kick right across the jaw. Hercules now kicking her off. And a God Spear by Hercules onto Amanda Price. Dio breaker in half, but Dio able to get in the ring and break up the count. Hercules now has Amanda trapped in the corner of the Old Gods. Hercules tagging in Rebecca Troy as they do an Irish whip and a double hip toss by the Old Gods onto Amanda Price. And now we have Amanda Price going one-on-one in the ring against the Olympian Rebecca Troy, who comes in with a cartwheel and clothesline combo. 1, 2, but the Witch breaks up the count. Here comes Rebecca Troy going for a figure 4 leg lock on Amanda Price, looking for a tap out, looking to make Amanda Price submit. Amanda Price scurries her way out though. Rebecca Troy now making the tag to Archangel. And here's Archangel stalking his prey, sizing Amanda Price up. He has her in a fireman's carry and a GTS by Archangel. 1, 2, and Amanda Price amazingly gets the shoulder up at the last moment despite the devastating GTS by Archangel. Amanda Price now coming back with a European uppercut on Archangel. She tags in the Witch. The Witch, now the legal woman, going up against Archangel. Witch with a wheelbarrow DDT. She going for the pin. 1. But the Archangel kicks out on 1. Still too early in this match to eliminate him. Archangel desperately tags in Amber Charlotte. And this right here is poetic. Amber Charlotte, the one who hospitalized the Witch in that casket match back at Fright Night a month ago. And the Witch coming to the rescue of the Witch, but it's now paying for it as Amber Charlotte gives Amanda Price a receipt. She now draws her attention back onto the Witch. And here comes a neck breaker by Amber Charlotte. see Dio, Amanda Price, and Steven Dynamite all desperate, holding out their hands. The Witch jumps across the ring and tags in her brother, Dio Sebation, now the legal man. There's Dio with the elbows to the ribs of Amber Charlotte. And he deadlifts her right in the air. That raw power of the demon. And the Warrior Princess, Amber Charlotte, falling full force into the ring mat. And here's Dio coming in for a choke slam. Full force choke slam by Dio Sebation. Here comes the pin. 1, 2. Oh, Hercules breaks up the count. I could have sworn that Hercules was just about to eliminate Amber Charlotte there with that huge, devastating chokeslam, but Hercules ends up breaking the pin. Amber Charlotte now tagging in Archangel. The Old Gods going for another double team maneuver with an Irish whip. Double hit toss by Archangel and Amber Charlotte. And here comes Archangel with those elbows. And here comes a GTS onto Dio Sebation. Dio out cold. Here comes the pin. 1, 2, and here's the Witch breaking up the count. Dio now getting a kick on the Archangel. It is about the numbers game. Whoever can get the first elimination will gain a huge advantage in this match. Dio tagging in the chosen one, Steven Dynamite. But Archangel getting his kicks in. Dynamite out of nowhere with a Hurricanrana. But there's Archangel using his power to kick out, taking down Dynamite. Dynamite now being thrown to the corner. And Archangel tags in Hercules. Archangel now propelling Hercules off the top rope as 345 pounds goes straight into Steven Dynamite, flying like a freight train. And Hercules lining up Steven Dynamite, lining up the head, and a drop kick right across the head as Steven Dynamite hangs out the ring apron. Amanda Price attempting to come to Steven Dynamite's aid. And Hercules now lining up. Here comes the God Spear. Hercules with his finishing move goes for the pin. 1, 2, but Dynamite gets the shoulder up at the last second. The two now making battle outside the ring in front of our announcer's desk. There's Hercules with a knee right across the face of Steven Dynamite. Dynamite getting those elbows in, try to escape the grasp of Hercules, and comes with a drop kick. Hercules rolls away from it though. Here goes an Irish whip. Steven Dynamite manages to stop on his tracks. An amazing display of nimbleness and athleticism by the chosen one as he takes down Hercules. Now rolls the undisputed champion in the ring. Once again, one-on-one, Steven Dynamite and Hercules. The record between these two is 4-1. Hercules getting 4 victories over Steven Dynamite. Steven Dynamite only defeating Hercules once, but you can see that he's still taking it to him. Dynamite, again, trying the same trick he tried outside the ring, but Hercules just too strong for him. This is a surprise attack by Steven Dynamite. And kick to the ribs, and a face buster by the chosen one. Dynamite now makes the tag to the Witch. The Witch landing a shooting star press. And now making her way to the second turnbuckle. And springing up to a flying moonsault. He goes for the pin, but Amber Charlotte breaks it up. Here's the Witch. Getting that sleeper. Hercules rolls his way out. Here's this kick to the midsection. And here comes the Hercules going for a powerbomb. The Witch fighting back though. And the Witch with a wheelbarrow DDT onto Hercules. She's now going for the pin. 1, 2, and Hercules kicks out. Wouldn't that be something? The leader of the Old Gods, the undisputed champion, if he was the first one to be eliminated from his team. And the Witch now with a frog splash. You can see the Witch taking this very seriously. She's not letting up, using every trick she knows to keep Hercules down. The crowd going absolutely wild in a sold-out arena. And there's a hurricanrana by the Witch. Hercules rolling out of the ring, trying to get a reprieve, if only for a moment. But the Witch not letting up. An Irish whip into the corner. He now brings Hercules to the top rope. And a flying bulldog off the top rope. The Witch, knowing how to use the full momentum of her agility, the combat someone as strong as them, and there she is with her finisher move, the Witch's Curse. But unfortunately, Rebecca Troy breaking out the count before the Witch can put him away. The Witch not being discouraged though. She knows she has the upper hand against the undisputed champion right now. And here she goes, an Irish whip onto Hercules. Another Irish whip. Hercules going off the ropes. And the Witch with her finisher for the second time. 1, but Archangel now breaks up the count. Hercules now kicking off the Witch. Hercules knows he needs to make a tag. And there's a power slam onto the Witch, giving Hercules a moment to breathe as he makes his way to the corner. And he makes a tag to Archangel. Archangel with a knee stomper, followed by a moonsault onto the Witch. 1, 2, but the Witch gets the shoulder up. He attempts to do a power move. The Witch reverses. He gets the back of the knee. There's the Witch going for the cover. 1, 2. Archangel kicks out on 2. Now the Witch making the tag to Dio Sebation, her older brother, now in the ring with Archangel. These two have squared off many times in the squared circle. Dio Sebation going for a backbreaker on Archangel. And Archangel makes the tag to Rebecca Troy, who goes for an open hand chop into the bare chest of Dio Sebation using a late takedown. And there's that joint manipulation by the Olympian, keeping the demon off his feet. She attempts a chop. Dio Sebation reciprocates, and Dio hits his finisher at the end of days. 1, 2, but Rebecca Troy kicks out. Dio now tagging in former women's champion Amanda Price. There's a slap across the face as she goes to twist the arm and takes Amanda Price down. There's Rebecca Troy now lining up Amanda Price. Cartwheel into a clothesline. And here comes the cover. 1, 2, but Amanda Price kicks out on 2. Rebecca Troy now going for another figure 4 leg lock onto Amanda Price, looking for a tap out. Amanda Price is in the middle of the ring. There's nowhere to go for a rope break. And Dio getting in the ring for a moment, if only to intimidate Amanda Price. To intimidate Rebecca Troy. Amanda Price completely laid out as Amber Charlotte, now the legal woman, makes her way to the top rope with a leg drop. But Amanda Price manages to roll out of the way at the very last minute, causing Amber Charlotte to hit the middle of the ring. And they grapple up. Amanda Price going off the ropes. Amanda Price kicking the midsection. But there's Amber Charlotte with the reversal. And here comes the pin. 1, 2, 3. Amanda Price, the hometown girl, is the first one to be eliminated in this matchup. We now have a 3-on-4 situation, and you see Dio Sebation completely livid as he's taken it upon himself to replace Amanda Price as the legal man, taking on every single member of the Old Gods single-handedly right now. Dio Sebation taking out Hercules, Rebecca Troy, and Amber Charlotte all at once after seeing Amanda Price be eliminated. There goes an underhook suplex by Dio Sebation. He now working on Amber Charlotte outside the ring. You can feel the anger behind Dio after seeing Amanda Price being the first one to be eliminated. Amanda Price being eliminated in her hometown of Allentown, Pennsylvania. And here comes Dio going for that chokeslam, while Hercules comes from behind, intercepting the attack. And now Hercules with a bear hug on Amber Charlotte. Amber Charlotte trying to elbow her way out, throwing those elbows into the neck of Dio Sebation. And here comes the Irish Whip. Is Amber Charlotte. Coming off the ropes, an impressive display of nimbleness by the Warrior Princess. However, I gotta say, things are not looking good for Steven Dynamite and the Fallen right now, as the Old Gods now have the numbers game. Now that Amanda Price has been eliminated, we now have a 4-on-3 matchup. Dio Sebation getting a desperate tag. Here comes the Witch with a wheelbarrow DDT on Amber Charlotte. There's the Witch throwing a knee into Amber Charlotte. You see the Witch is fired up. They know they have the disadvantage right now. They need to make an elimination in order to make this match even. The Witch with a shooting star press, but Rebecca Troy breaks up the count. And here comes Amber Charlotte, rolling the Witch into a pin. He's going back and forth. The Witch countering though. Hurricanrana by the Witch. Hercules holding out his hand for the tag. The Witch getting too distracted now. Amber Charlotte, if she gets that tag, and here comes Hercules. Superman punch, and here comes the pin. 1, 2, no, the Witch kicks out, but barely. Things are looking grim. The Witch right now. Oh no, she manages to counter. Irish Whip, but Hercules gets a double counter on the Witch with a huge clothesline, 345 pounds, derailing the Witch. The girl from Salem is out cold in the mercy of the hands of the undisputed champion. And here's Hercules grabbing the tag. Archangel now using the ropes as leverage. What a dirty move. Such a dirty move by Archangel using the Ropes' leverage, but the Witch reciprocates using the Witch's Curse, her finisher move on Archangel. 1, 2, but Archangel kicks out despite the Witch landing her finisher.
That's a good tap.
The Witch now tagging in Steven Dynamite. She goes for propel. Dynamite off the top rope. Steven Dynamite shoulder checks into Archangel with a high flying move. There goes a right cross. And now attacks the back. And Archangel with a Superman punch of his own. He goes to pin Steven Dynamite, but the Witch breaks up the count. And now Rebecca Troy now in the ring with Steven Dynamite. Dynamite could be in a lot of trouble here. Once again, the All Gods have a 4-on-3 advantage over the Fallen and Steven Dynamite. Dio now has Rebecca Troy in the air. Power slam into the ring. He goes for the cover. 1, 2. Archangel at the last moment breaks up the pin. But Dio's not done yet. Here he is stalking his prey. Dio coming in. End of days. But this time, Amber Charlotte breaks up the count. Every time. And there's Dio getting the receipt on Amber Charlotte. End of days on Amber Charlotte, making her wish she never stepped in the ring to interfere with the elimination. And now Dio tagging in Steven Dynamite. Dynamite taking on Rebecca Troy. Hurricanrana. Rebecca Troy rolling out of the ring, trying to gain a little distance here. And there she goes, sweeping the leg of the Chosen One. She now has Steven Dynamite and a crossface. Steven Dynamite rolls way out. He springs off the ropes. And here comes a helicopter leg scissors. Dynamite now on the top rope. Swanton bomb by Steven Dynamite. Will be this enough to put her away? 1, 2. No. Rebecca Troy somehow gets the shoulder rub despite that impressive high-flying finisher. Steven Dynamite looks like he could be going for a second one. A second Swanton bomb. He's going for a second. 1, 2. No, again. I don't even think Steven Dynamite can compute with how Rebecca Troy kicked out not 1, but 2 Swanton bombs. He now goes to try Fisher with the moonsault. Nobody home. Rebecca Troy rolls out of the way. And here comes the Irish Whips. Dynamite now in the corner. Now a victim of both Rebecca Troy and Archangel, just as he almost was on Brawl, if not for Amanda Price. The Old Gods using a double hit toss. Steven Dynamite rolling out of the ring, but Archangel now in pursuit of his opponent. Dynamite now in the ring. Archangel setting him up for the finisher. This could be the end of the Chosen One as Archangel goes for a GTS. 1, 2, 3, and Steven Dynamite has been eliminated. We are now 4 against 2. It is now a 4 against 2 match. It is now all 4 members of the Old Gods taking on the Witch and Dio Sebation. It is now strictly the Old Gods versus the Fallen. The Fallen now at a huge disadvantage in what is now a highly exaggerated handicap match. And there they are, using a double hip toss on Dio Sebation, slowly picking apart. The Old Gods look like they might be winning this war. And there's Rebecca Troy with an overhand slap. Dio Sebation attempting to grapple Rebecca Troy. And this could be it. 1, 2, but Dio gets the shoulder up. Dio desperately needs to make that tag to the Witch. He doesn't have much left in him. He could be the 3rd elimination, and now leave the Witch all by herself against 4 other opponents. Dio desperately needs to make the tag. They desperately need to get some eliminations going and even this match up. There's a backbreaker by Dio Sebation. He now makes the tag to the Witch. There's the Witch working on Rebecca Troy across the corner. And a flying missile drop kick by the Witch onto Rebecca Troy. Followed by a shooting star press. 1, but no, Archangel breaks up the count. Witch now tags in Dio. Dio with a flying elbow drop onto Rebecca Troy. They lifts her into another power slam. Dio now setting her up for the end of days. They desperately need an elimination now to even get close to winning this match. 1, 2, no! No, I don't believe it. How? How does Rebecca Troy kick out? Dio looks like he's going to go for a second end of days. Dio going for the pin once more. 1, 2, 3. Rebecca Troy has been eliminated. We're now down to 3 against 2. The Old Gods still have 3 members left with Rebecca Troy being eliminated, but it's still down to Dio and the Witch, the 2 members of the Fallen, against the Old Gods here. We now have Archangel taking it to Dio Sebation. Dio Sebation reversing the suplex. He goes to attack the back of the knee. Here's Dio with an Irish whip into the corner. He tags in the Witch. He holds him up as the Witch goes for a double axe handle onto the arm. And here she comes. Wheelbarrow Bulldog. The Witch now on the second row. Flying moonsault. She goes for the pin. 1, 2, but Archangel kicks out. And you can see the frustration on the Witch's face. She again goes for another shooting star press, trying to pull out all the stops. If she can get this second elimination early on, they might have a fighting chance of even this out into a 2-on-2 tag team matchup. Here comes the Witch with a Hurricanrana. And there's a fireman's carry by Archangel reversing the Witch. Here comes the Irish whip, and Archangel with a spear. Here comes the pin. 1, 2, but the Witch digs down deep inside and manages to kick out. Archangel now tagging in Amber Charlotte. As the Witch with an Irish whip, Amber Charlotte reverses, throws a spinning elbow into the face of the Witch. Amber Charlotte now on the top rope. And there's a leg drop onto the Witch from across the ring. Here comes the pin. 1, 2, but Hercules saves the day and breaks up the count. Amber Charlotte going for a second pin here. 1, 2, and the witch again kicks out miraculously. Now here's Amber Charlotte looking to put this away. Stalking her, going for the finishing move. The Amazon DDT. 1, 2, and again the witch kicks out. I don't know where the witch finds all this, how she's able to kick out of all this. But somehow the witch is not willing to give up. Amber Charlotte with a second Amazon DDT. 1, 2, 3. This time the witch stays down. It is now a 3 versus 1 match. It is now Dio versus the 3 remaining members of the Old Gods. Amber Charlotte going for the pin on Dio. And there's Dio kicking out. Dio has no more backup. Steven Dynamite, the witch, and Amanda Price are now all out of the match. It is now all up to him. And there's Amber Charlotte with a snap suplex onto Dio Sebation. She tags in Hercules. She's telling Hercules that he now has the honor of finishing off his enemy. And there's Hercules with a Superman punch on the Hercules, knocking him out. And here's Hercules lining him up. And here comes the God Spear. This looks like it could be the end of the match, folks. Here comes the cover. Will this be it? 1, 2, 3, and it is. The Old Gods win, eliminating all 4 opponents.
The mighty, unbreakable, indestructible Hercules, the Olympian Rebecca Troy, Archangel, and the warrior princess Amber Charlotte.
An amazing, undisputed win by the Old Gods. I even have to admit that at the end of the day, the combined efforts of Steven Dynamite, Dio Sebation, Amanda Price, and the Witch were not enough to take on the Old Gods. The Tyrants continue to plague GTW with their vile, evil ways. They now hold 2 major championship belts, the World Heavyweight title and the Grand Tour title. Their enemies have now been vanquished. Amanda Price has been the first to be eliminated in her hometown. This is a dark day here in GTW. However, there's still one more obstacle as Hercules is set to main event Holiday Mayhem on Christmas Day, as he will defend the World Heavyweight title against the new #1 contender Jon Moxley. Where the heroes have failed, will another monster be able to succeed in dethroning what no one can deny now, a true god? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for following me here on Twitch, everyone on the live stream. I love that you all came here, all showing your support. I'm glad you all enjoyed the show. For those of you new here on Twitch watching me, please follow. I live stream weekly shows every Wednesday and Saturday night for Brawl and Dystopia, once a month for a pay-per-view. And for those of you catching this show here on YouTube, don't forget to show your support. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to know when new episodes of Grand Tour Wrestling are posted. This is Infinite Fantasy signing out. May your fantasies be infinite.